Bowl Mania.
Welcome to the Belk Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. It's the SEC and the ACC. A couple of teams that had to make quarterback changes mid-season. They went on tears to finish out the year, and here they are, Virginia Tech and Kentucky in Charlotte. And we already have a developing story. Bad blood at a bowl function on Saturday. Boiled over pregame. That's Kentucky All-American Lynn Bowden. Words exchanged. A bump of a Virginia Tech assistant. Then Khalil Ladler had a say. More jawing back and forth between the teams. And after this shove, Lynn Bowden will land a punch on Virginia Tech defensive lineman Deshaun Crawford. Then he put hands on Kentucky assistant Josh Pruitt. They settled Bowden down. Pruitt then had this exchange with Virginia Tech AD Whit Babcock and Belk Bowl Executive Director Danny Morrison. This was all outside of the 1 hour window where officials could have ejected Lynn Bowden. So from that perspective, he is good to go today. Beth Mowins, Anthony Becht, Rocky Boyman. As we get set for kick, there has been no word from either side about any other disciplinary action that may be taking place today. So with that backdrop, Lynn Bowden, the Paul Hornung Award winner, most versatile guy in all of football, has got to get ready for Bud Foster's defense.
And he's such an outstanding player. You hate to see some of those things happen. I have no problem with players chirping. That's part of the game. They're being competitive. But when you don't let it go, you're letting something carry over from Saturday. I mean, we spoke to Lynn Bowden in our meetings yesterday, and he really couldn't talk much about football. He was all about getting back at the guys. It's going to happen in this game. So if he can keep his composure, you're going to see an exciting player in the football field, and he showed it pretty much to every SEC team he played against this year. He was a receiver, folks, one of the top ones on this team. They asked him to pump play quarterback, and he devastated the conference. One of the premier rushing quarterbacks in all of college football, AP All-American as a versatile athlete, and this guy's hard to tackle. He's strong, he's tough. He is the trademark feature of this football team. Everything happens behind this young man's back, and if he can keep his composure, Beth, he can have a big game.
All-American season for Bowden against one of the all-time greats. Rocky, it's the last call for a Hokie legend, the last game to carry that lunch pail.
That's right, Beth. It's the end of an era for Virginia Tech. Bud Foster will coach his final game after 33 seasons in Blacksburg, and I talked to him yesterday. He said, well, I won't miss the 4:30 a.m. workouts and meetings. I will miss the camaraderie, the guys, the locker room that have made the lunch pail defense such an iconic brand. Now, if I had to say what the defining characteristic of a Bud Foster defense has been, it's throughout all the years, the past quarter century, as offenses have changed, he's always found creative ways to get extra guys in the box to get that free hitter. And he told me never before has that been more critical to find and get that free hitter in that box versus Lynn Bowden in this Kentucky offense.
His grandkids, his wife Jessie, that beautiful lake house, a little world travel. They can wait for another day. One more go-round for Bud Foster in this Hokie defense. Justin Fuente on the Hokie side. Mark Stoops, the head coach for the Wildcats, enjoying one of the greatest runs of UK football since the days of Bear Bryant back in the 1950s. Kentucky won the toss and deferred, so Virginia Tech will have the first go with their sophomore quarterback back home in his home state of North Carolina, Hendon Hooker.
Phenomenal job this season. Comes in, leads his football team. He is a dual threat, in my opinion. When the pocket's clean, he's been able to complete a lot of balls down the field. He's got a great arm. He's young, but he is mature for his age. And like I said, his legs, to me, will be a big factor in this football game against a defense, Beth, of Kentucky that will not allow you to run inside with their big bodies up front.
Took over the job midseason. He is 6-1 as their starter. That lone loss, the heartbreaker against Virginia in their final regular season game. And they will come out throwing incomplete, looking for Damon Hazelton. And what to expect with Hendon Hooker. For the first time in 2 decades, Anthony, a third starting quarterback for the Hokies.
Yeah, and they feel like they have a great leader here. I mean, here's a young man in the spring that was going to transfer, and they talked him back. He had conversations with the team, feels great about where he's at, and now he's been leading this team this season to an excellent record.
Got some pressure coming right at him from TJ Carter. Of course, the Hokies are led by their fourth-year head coach, Justin Fuente. A nice bounce back this year from the 6-7 season a year ago for the Hokies. The best bowl streak in America, 27 consecutive trips. It started on New Year's Eve back in 1993 in the Independence Bowl. And they've been in the postseason ever since. Looking at a 3rd down and 10. Hooker trying to drop it off underneath, and it's dropped by Trey Turner, and then a flag around the quarterback.
This one's going to go on their best pass rusher for Kentucky, Jamar Watson. He makes an inside move and looks like he hits the quarterback after the pass. We'll see what the referees say.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 31. Contact to the quarterback's head, 50-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
David Alvarez with the call on Boogie Watson.
Yep, see the inside move. Doesn't look bad, folks. The hand to the face mask, unfortunately, that's illegal. You can't do it. Coach Stoops isn't happy, saying, what did he do? It didn't look violent, but again, the hand in the face, and I think these officials coming into this game, Beth, with all the actions prior to the game, are going to try to officiate this game very tightly. Players have to contain their composure throughout this game.
Interesting to see the Hokies coming out throwing. They have been a very good running team. That's another pass play to start it out after the first down, looking for Trey Turner again. And on the other side for the Wildcats is Mark Stoops. The last 4 years, 31 wins. That is the most since Bear Bryant was on that sideline over a half a century ago. And Stoops now stands 3rd all-time in Wildcat victories. All 3 of those guys have a 10-win season on their resume. Stoops got one last year. Again to the air and another incompletion. So Hooker starts out 0 for 4.
Yeah, not a great confidence builder for Hooker here. I mean, the first pass was a drop by his receiver, but I think to me they have one of the best running backs in the ACC, and Deshaun McCleese, number 33, established the run. I know they're worried about the internal running game, but you got to find ways to get yards. He may be a guy you go with.
Defense, number 91, hands to the place, 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That will be a personal foul on the 6'9", 300-pound senior Calvin Taylor. Got up into the helmet of Lacita Smith, the left guard.
It knocks his helmet right off his head. Now, it's tough for him. He's 6'9", folks. Watch him right here come off and knock the helmet with his left foot, his left hand, right there, driving the helmet off. And again, playing low has always been something he's had to deal with.
And the big burst for Deshaun McCleese. So after they got the benefit of 30 penalty yards, they get 9 on their own.
Yeah, take advantage of penalties the entire game. That definitely helped them. There's a running game I'm talking about. Get McCleese downhill. He's a back that can make people miss. Big hit there by their safety Corker. Lot of festivities. We're going to see a lot of hard hitting, hard play, physicality. I like it. As long as it's clean, Beth, I'm all for it. Should be a great matchup.
Anthony, this is a top 20 defense, and you mentioned Corker. That entire secondary new this year. Really big up front. A massive D-line. And good push up front. TJ Carter got to McCleese in the backfield. Rocky?
Yeah, a couple of things, guys. What did Justin Fuente tell us yesterday was his biggest concern after being off for 23 days? It was the timing between his quarterback and his wide receivers, as we've seen 4 passes that haven't connected. And for UK's defense, their defining characteristic is they're so big up front. They've not had to load the box at all this year, and that's going to be a challenge for Virginia Tech.
Cats love how technically sound that front is and the trust that the coaches have put in those big guys up front. 3rd and 3, they'll try and get Robinson to the edge. And it looks like he's got just enough to move the chains.
And that where it makes sense for Virginia Tech to attack Kentucky early. With 3 big-body defensive linemen, 360 pounds, 6'9", and another 370-pounder, you work the edges and you try to get some of your fast receivers on jet sweeps, handoffs across the middle, and get to the edge right there. Nice plan. Good mix so far without completing any footballs, Beth, for Virginia Tech.
They'll go trips to the left and send the back that way as well, and a huge hit from Boogie Watson. Almost had a chance if his head was up to pick that.
Yeah, it was an interesting throw by Hendon Hooker as we watch it again. Kind of a soft touch throw, not a lot of zip, almost as if he was trying to aim it in. I don't think he's feeling real comfortable about the way he's throwing the ball early in this game. Although the accuracy was right on, a quick hitting throw would have been a lot better. That allows the secondary player to come up and make a big hit. Nice job by Watson.
And a good job by King to hold on to that football. He got popped. Couple of big hits already for this Kentucky defense. There was a, if you missed it, a pregame scrum, so the blood is pumping, the juices are flowing on both sides early. And the officials are getting together for a discussion.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass. Second down from the 37-yard line.
Completed pass, but it cost him 4 yards. As Fuente looks on from the sideline, an ACC record 25 wins through his first 3 years, and then the 8-4 season. Almost got into the ACC championship game this year. It was a big bowl game and a big offseason. They've got 21 of their 22 starters returning next year, and a good recruiting class to back them up. 2 tight end set here. And they both line up as wideouts right. They'll try the end around with Trey Turner, and he's met in the backfield again. That's the 4th negative play already for this Kentucky defense. Check that, they'll give him a yard there. Maybe more like an inch. 3rd down again.
This defense is big, Beth, but they can move. They sure are early in this game.
Some pretty good basketball players up there. Tyler and Buchanan, great athletes for their size. Hooker batted up into the air, incomplete, and it's 4th down.
It's a good job by this defense. Kind of battling, getting off, knocking that football down. Good job by Wright, number 15. You see he gets his hand up right in the middle here as he's engaged with the offensive lineman. It's a good stop by this Kentucky defense.
I'll tell you, Anthony, what I'm seeing down in the field here early is UK's secondary doing a real good job disguising their coverages, showing a 2-deep look, rolling to a middle of the field safety look, making it tough on him.
So here's Brian Johnson wearing that special Frank Beamer number 25. So good over the years on special teams from 54 yards out, and he got just enough of it. Get out the yardstick. Brian Johnson, a career long, just enough on a beautiful day in Charlotte for the early lead. Ran for 9. Kentucky gave them 30 yards in penalties, and then the career-long 54-yard field goal for Brian Johnson. And look who is back deep for Kentucky, their starting quarterback, Lynn Bowden. The Paul Hornung Award winner, most versatile athlete in college football, has already declared for the NFL draft, where he would probably be a wide receiver and kick returner. And he is definitely bringing this out. And every Hokie out there is trying to get a clean lick on him. Bad blood between Bowden and the Hokies all week long, and now here he is staying in there at QB as he has been for the second half of the season, converting from wide receiver. And now is Bowden coming to the side? No, he's going to stay in there. Just incredible numbers. A single season record for a Kentucky quarterback, 6th best ever. And again, he's only been running for 7 games. And a handoff right up the middle. Good push by the Virginia Tech defensive front. Essentially, AB, this has been a run-first, run-all-day Kentucky offense.
Yeah, there's no surprise, no secret. It's going to be a tailback run or a quarterback run, but the way they do it has been so hard for defenses to stop. Bud Foster, I promise you this, is going to relinquish to an extra man in the box like Rocky talked about. You're going to see zero coverage today, no safety in the middle, man-to-man on the outside, and they're going to try to get every body they can to try to tackle this man at quarterback for Kentucky.
The pitch. Cavassier Smoke trying to get to the edge, and the Hokie defense is right there again. Remember, that's just reset. Number 36 on that D-line, Deshaun Crawford, was punched by Bowden in a pregame fracas outside the 1 hour window where Bowden could have been ejected. So that's part of the backstory, of course, for this Tech defense led by Bud Foster in his final game as their coordinator.
He's going to get plenty of chances to try to go get Bowden, but Bowden, I'll tell you now, he's slippery. He's a guy that will 3rd and 9, he'll run it on this one. Eddie Graham, the offensive quarter, not scared to call a run at any point, any down, anywhere on the field.
Bowden will give again. Flag down. Big hole up the middle across midfield. A.J. Rose. And they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Kentucky.
For now.
A flag back at the line of scrimmage, and Virginia Tech is already celebrating that 78-yard touchdown run will come off the board. Let's see if the officials agree.
I'm interested to see where, if there is a holding, what happened here.
There's also a flag in the end zone, guys.
Now look at the explosiveness of A.J. Rose. A big break-off run there, but will it be coming back? And then the second flag appeared to be while the Kentucky celebration was going on in the end zone.
Yeah, they're going to get left guard Logan Stenberg with a hold. We get the call here, and Logan Stenberg has been known as the best blocking offensive lineman in the SEC. Yep. He is a masher. He gets his hands on you. He literally wants to try to throw you out the club, and I think here literally he did that, and they caught him. We'll see what the call is.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one on the offense, one on the defense. They will both be enforced. During the run, holding offense number 71, 10-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 27, abusive language. 15 yards and an automatic first down.
Right here, number 71. Watch as he goes down the block. He's going to get his hands on the D-tackle, just throw him down to the ground. A little early sometimes to do that. You know, some people say, hey, it's hands are inside, and then we'll watch on the back end of this play.
That's the abusive language, Anthony, from Armani Chapman. So Virginia Tech is without both of their starting corners, Caleb Farley and Jermaine Waller. So the backup, Armani Chapman. Not sure why you're jawing with the other team after they just blew by you for 78 yards, but that's the call.
Yeah, and I will say this, as a football player playing on the field, Rocky, abusive language is probably on every snap. So, I mean, I get it.
That's a little bit much.
I mean, let's contain things. I like players chirping. It's okay. But hopefully he didn't say it in the official's face. That might have what happened on that pass.
That could have also played a role. So back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's see, they'll try and run it up the middle again. This time it's Chris Rodriguez. And a 6-yard run on first down. Here you see Bud Foster retiring at the age of 60, over 30 years and 300 games. And the Hokie love affair that started back in 1987 when he arrived in Blacksburg, and has built a legacy of some of the most dominating defenses in college football over that span. Talks about playing hard and playing passionate, gaining respect and earning respect. And getting the edge is Josh Ali across midfield and into Hokie territory. Dex Hollyfield with the tackle after a gain of 25.
You know, you got to feel for these receivers at Kentucky. Only 62 passes thrown, 29 completed since Lynn Bowden's been a quarterback. But you got to be creative and find ways to get these guys the football in their hands to make plays and keep them interested to play. I mean, they're not going to get any catches. And right there is a perfect example. Josh Ali making the most of his situation there, making a huge run for Kentucky.
And guys, look at Virginia Tech's defense. Their deepest guy is about 7 yards off the ball, and Kentucky's still having success running.
They only had 4 yards passing against Louisville in their season finale because they ran all over the Cards. And Bowden, a big reason why. Lynn ran for 284 yards and had 4 touchdowns in their season finale. And the last 4 games for Mark Stoops' attack, and we talk a lot about Bud Foster. He's matching wits today with Eddie Gran, another veteran, long time in the SEC, also spent some time at Cincinnati. Said, hey, we had to adjust on the fly with our wide receiver becoming our quarterback. We were stealing plays from everybody. We were watching a ton of football to see what we could use to best utilize Bowden's skill set. And it's been working. Running the option, and he loses his footing.
What Eddie Grant did say was, the fact that they were able to do this is actually enhancing them for next season, because with Terry coming back, Wilson, they're going to be able to utilize some of this run game. He's a dual threat as well, quarterback who can pass the ball efficiently. So they're really excited about what the growth of the offense will be moving forward. But you're right, Beth. Set records in rushing for the season, touchdowns and average yards of rush. Been a phenomenal year for this offensive line and the quarterback in OC.
They call him the Big Blue Wall, and it starts with those 300-plus pounders up front. Bowden will try to get a 3rd down conversion, and then he'll jump pass it out wide. And a fight for a yard, and I think the Hokies may have won it. Let's see where they spotted. Going to be close to the yard to gain.
Yeah, Lynn Bowden with a really late pass there. Almost completely wrapped up. He jumped up. He's very fortunate he was able to get that. And 4th down here, I can't imagine them coming off the football field. Lynn Bowden, though, is lined up at receiver on the bottom of the screen, Beth, with Sawyer Smith, the backup quarterback, coming in. Excuse me, here in Wildcat.
That's A.J. Rose sending Thomas in motion. Rose will keep running up the middle. 1st down inside the 30.
And the thing about it that's tough for defenses, Beth, is they don't kind of mash all their bodies in at the line of scrimmage. Rocky, they spread the receivers out. They force you to bring defenders away from the box so they can get some numbers.
They force a one-on-one tackle, and with those big running backs and Lynn Bowden, it's tough to bring them down.
The result of the play is a 1st down. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 71, taunting an opponent. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10, Kentucky.
Okay, so both sides now with an unsportsmanlike penalty, and remember, those carry over. You get a 2nd one in the game, you're out. And Logan Stenberg, an All-American 2nd teamer, will come to the sideline to have some words with
I like that, Beth.
His staff and maybe sit for a bit.
Yeah, you got to set the tone. I mean, look, he's a senior, but literally, you got to go out there and do your thing. He's going to the Senior Bowl. He's a phenomenal talent. Go let your actions speak for your play. In between the play, not after the whistle. He's such a good player. He needs to be in the game. There's no reason why he has to come out for something silly like that.
Bowden running left. Big blocker in front of him. And he'll tiptoe inside the 30 behind Darian Kennard. And a gain of 15.
Power blocking on the front side. You got pullers going to the left. Look at the big bodies. And then you got a quarterback that's virtually untouchable, hard to tackle. He can go inside, outside. And you got defenders, Rocky, backpedaling, which is never good with offensive linemen and a very fast ball carrier coming at you.
I'll tell you, down here on the field is significant. The difference in Kentucky's massive offensive line. Their smallest player is 6'9", 304. Virginia Tech does not have a 300-pounder on their defense, a significant size advantage.
Now Bowden is out of the game, and Sawyer Smith in at quarterback. They'll run it down inside the 25. It looks like they have an issue with Bowden's hand right now.
Is it a hangnail, Beth? He looks like he's biting his nail there, trying to maybe, I don't know if his nail maybe is hanging off there, but they're working on it. Doesn't look like anything is going to keep him out too long.
I think he's going to come back in the game.
Yeah.
He's fired up.
Well, they've made some changes to in that big blue wall with Stenberg out. They're moving guys around. They have been so consistent up front, setting single-season rushing records this year. Smith pass sails over the head of Cleveland Thomas.
And you'd think with Sawyer Smith in the game, Beth, obviously he's a passing quarterback. So you try to do some things. Wasn't a long stand. Here comes Lynn Bowden now back on the field to take over the offense again.
The 12th play of the drive here that started back on their own 20. Bowden, bang, hole up the middle. Bowden with the burst. Touchdown, Kentucky. Freshman Chris Rodriguez got out in front of his quarterback and led the way.
Yeah, you know, you see a defensive lineman standing up, pointing like somebody had moved. Referees don't call it. Massive hole on the right side. It's a great block, but you talk number 24. They call him Mini Benny, Benny Snell, the former back that was here. They love him. He said he's identical version of Benny Snell when he played here, and that is a huge, monstrous hole. And I'll tell you what, if that happens to the day, it's going to be problems for this Virginia Tech defense.
Big statement for Kentucky. 80 yards in about 7 minutes with the Bowden finish.
So far, his composure's been kept in a bottle. Nobody around him, speed, gets to the end zone. He clearly right now is a tough man to stop for Kentucky.
The Belk Bowl, brought to you by Belk, the home of winning with style. Visit Belk.com today. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Both teams had some fun the other day out at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for a driving experience. They enjoyed some hot laps and driving 101 here at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte for the Belk Bowl. And how about an update down on the field from Rocky Boyman?
Yeah, guys, I was able to get a look at Lynn Bowden. There's blood coming out of the right thumbnail. That's his throwing hand. It looked like they were taking some clippers and trying to clip the nail and kind of get the blood out, but there's nothing about his body language that indicates he's not coming right back in this game.
He had 74 of the 80 yards on that drive, 44 running, 30 passing. 12 plays, and they dominated the line of scrimmage. Keyshawn King will let that bound over his head. We're coming up next on ESPN and the ESPN app. A couple more bowls coming your way. Navy hot off that win over Army. They'll take on K-State in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. And then coming up tonight, the Valero Alamo Bowl. Utah runners-up in the Pac-12, and the Texas Longhorns, who just hired a new OC, and they're also looking for a new DC for Tom Herman.
Well, what's the plan now for Virginia Tech? Because you came out in the first series, Hendon Hooker was 1 for 5, Beth, not a great start. I think you got to establish a run game here. You got a very good tailback in the back into Sean McLeese. Let's see how they start this drive off.
And off to McLeese, and he's got a seam off the left side. The stutter step at midfield and down to the 38-yard line. Leading rusher this year for the Hokies, the junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia, and they're going to run tempo after the 36-yard gain. Actually have to wait here for the sticks to get in place. Hooker out of the empty set, caught down the seam inside the 20, the tight end James Mitchell.
Nice job by James Mitchell, former quarterback in high school. Put some weight on, he becomes a very versatile weapon over the middle of the football field. Big target, finally gets on track here. Hooker with a completion over the middle, get his confidence going.
19-yard catch, so a couple of chunk plays in quick succession. Leonard Robinson to the near side. Hazelton up top. Hooker will get to McLeese. Met right there on the edge by Jordan Wright. Excuse me, King on the...
They'll rotate a couple backs back there, but McLeese, Beth, is their top rusher. They like to, they feel like they have a lot of speed at that position, and you saw the burst out of King, just an excellent tackle by Kentucky up front to bring him down.
True freshman out of Orange Park, Florida. Hooker will keep his man in the backfield. Of course, they got just about everybody that's going to be coming back next season. A really good recruiting class that features the top JUCO running back in the country. And a Kansas transfer, Khalil Herbert. So even more help on the way.
Good downhill tackle by Oates, number 22, setting up this 3rd and long.
Pressure coming off the edge. The Hokies pick it up. The throw into the end zone. Hauled in by Hazelton. Touchdown, Hokies.
This is a matchup, Beth, that I think Virginia Tech feels good about. Brendan Eccles is 5'11" on the outside. He's been very, very good. 50-50 balls, he's even been better, but he got himself turned around. Very good tightrope here by Hazelton on the sideline. His right foot was right by the edge, out of bounds. He may have to take another look at it. But again, that's tightrope in those sidelines there as he brings that catch in for the touchdown.
Guys, and Mark Stoops wants him to take another look at this, trying to get the attention of the officials.
He can call timeout.
He did not.
Extra point is good. They don't stop it for a review of the scoring play, and a nice response from Virginia Tech after the Kentucky score.
Yeah, heck of an answer. Hooker, 2 for 2 on the drive. And listen, sometimes you just got to be more physical than the other guy. See that right foot's awfully close to that line. Oof. But that's a touchdown catch. Excellent job pulling it in by Damon Hazelton.
That scoring drive, 5 plays, 75 yards, and the Hazelton 18-yard TD catch. And upon further review, Anthony, does he stay in?
Yeah, you check out that foot right there. It's just inside. You see the maroon in between the white. He kicks his foot out as he drives off, but it never touches the white. So he was in bounds. No official needed to overcall that one.
Hey, tomorrow we got a couple more bowl games for you at 1 o'clock Eastern. One on your TV, one on your app, or maybe one on your other TV. PJ Fleck in Minnesota taking on Bo Nix and the Auburn Tigers. It's the Outback Bowl on ABC. And then Michigan and Alabama in the Verbo Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Who is better at dealing some disappointment? Todd McShay, his latest mock draft, had Alabama with 7 potential first-round picks. And, of course, still awaiting the final word from Tua Tagovailoa as to whether he will leave or return to Tuscaloosa. A.J. Rose tried to get to the outside, tripped up after the 3-yard gain.
And there's the guy right there for Virginia Tech, linebacker Ashby, Rayshard Ashby. And I know, Rocky really likes him on tape. He's been a phenomenal talent for this guy, for this defense all season long.
I'll tell you what, the best thing he does, in my opinion, is he processes information quickly. Just like a quarterback has to do, he does that. He knows where the offense is trying to attack him and diagnoses it and makes plays.
Kentucky still has Logan Stenberg on the sideline. Bowden, elusive. Wow. The stiff arm, a long way to go for an impressive couple of yards for Lynn Bowden.
Yeah, now Divine Diablo's coming up on the edge, number 17. Watch this. I don't know if he just, wow, it just goes right under his arm. Lynn Bowden's just got a great feel for just where guys are. And he may not have been looking at him, but he gets himself low. I'll tell you, he's a yoked up kid, very strong. He's got excellent speed, but his ability to make people miss has been impressive.
Pitching right. Rose bobbles the pitch and will have to fall on it at the 21-yard line. And it's 4th down after the loss of 9.
Yeah, Lidbo not happy about that. Just looks like Rose just drops this. Let's watch the pitch. Right to him. Looks like it kind of jumped on him a little quick. They were maybe a little too close together, and it kind of surprised Rose, and Lidbo clearly not happy about his teammate dropping that ball. Huge play for Virginia Tech.
Hezekiah Grimsley, Taviano Robinson are the deep men. And the Ray Guy Award winner, the best punter in the country, Max Duffy, will boot this away, end over end. And a monster collision at the 40-yard line after the 39-yard punt.
Yeah, Grimsley has got to fair catch that. He's okay, he bounced up, he's fine, but man, he just took a huge shot.
Zach Johnson got him.
I mean, you want to talk about perfect timing here, and he hits it with his shoulder as well. His hat is away from it. That's about as hard as a hit you can do in a clean version this game has seen all season. Pretty nice job there by Kentucky. Watch this. Bow!
Guys, I felt that one down here on the sideline.
How did he hold on to the football? I mean, God, unbelievable.
Putting the special in special teams, a 10-7 game. Welcome back to the Belk Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. SEC, ACC, they split their 2 games yesterday, head-to-head. And, of course, you got LSU and Clemson coming up in the national championship game on January 13th. 10-7 ball game here. Very close in terms of yardage and time of possession throughout that first quarter of play. Out of the backfield, dropping it off to Deshaun McClease. Met immediately by the middle backer, Cash Daniel.
And that's one senior that they'll miss next year. Cash Daniel's been working those sidelines for a few years now, and I'll tell you, he's been an impressive player to watch, Rocky. A lot of tackles. Doesn't have the greatest speed, but his instincts really take over.
He does, and he's had, I think he would say, a down year, but you watch him on tape, there's flashes where he's still that guy roaming sideline to sideline.
Running around for first-year defensive coordinator Brad White, who comes out of the NFL, Indianapolis, under the tutelage of Chuck Pagano. Run up the middle for Deshaun McClease. Brad Cornelison, the offensive coordinator for the Hokies. It's been a good balance. They've had 6 different guys as their leading rusher, 5 different guys as their leading receiver. They've played 3 quarterbacks. Dumping it off to McClease, makes one man miss down inside the 40-yard line.
And you see the versatility of McClease. I don't think he gets as much love as he should. I really like this kid on film. He's good at running, he's good at catching the football, he can make people miss. And right there, it's a huge first down conversion for Virginia Tech.
I'll tell you what, they added some tempo right there. I think that caught UK's defense by surprise.
That worked well on the last drive. Keyshawn King is now in the slot left, and he'll come in motion. And he'll take the handoff. Good blocks on the edge. The receivers doing their job. A first down inside the 30. James Mitchell, the tight end, also gets some credit.
Yeah, nice job. And, you know, that's what's big about outside passing to the receivers. You got to have good blockers. Another blocker outside, number 29, Keene. Dalton Keene, one of the most versatile players on this football team, plays tailback tight end. He's a movable receiver. He blocks. He does all the dirty work for this Virginia Tech offense.
14 yards on that pickup. Hooker will keep. Down inside the 20-yard line for Hendon. So they started out the year with senior Ryan Willis at quarterback. He got replaced after the Duke game. Hooker made an appearance, then got hurt. They had to go to Quincy Patterson to start the Notre Dame game, and then Hooker returned and has taken over that spot with all of his weapons ready to return next year. And not a senior starting in front of him either. Going to have a lot of experience coming back. Hooker! First and goal for the Hokies.
And this is the difference to me when you watch his game. I think he's an extremely talented runner. Against Virginia a few weeks ago, the end of the season, he had some really big runs that I thought were game changers and kept them in that football game. And I think today he could be a dangerous weapon with his legs as well.
Picks up 12 more there. Kentucky really struggling with the faster tempo. And now trying to figure out who's got the football. Big chunk plays the last 2 drives.
You see some hands on hips from some of the up front guys, some of these bigger bodies.
There's a look at the big bodies of Kentucky up front with Carter and Bohanna and Taylor and Josh Paschal. Marquand McCall, another 300-pounder. We've called Jordan Wright's name a couple times.
You said 300 pounds, but he's 365. I don't. That's an average size, 303. He's 365. He's a big man. I'll tell you, he can move now. He's got some quick feet. He's getting coached up on the sideline, and he's not happy about this drive by Virginia Tech.
Second and goal, Hooker will keep, met right at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing. And it's 3rd and goal.
Tell you what, UK's D-line is big, but they're also very technically sound, good hand placement, good base, and they just occupy blockers, allow those safeties and linebackers to come up and make plays.
Yeah, Brad White, defensive coordinator, really impressed how these guys play the game, and they're always in the right spot. Let's see if they can come up big here on this 3rd down and goal.
Hooker looking left, throwing that way into the end zone. Still waiting for word from the official. Touchdown.
Mr. Do-It-All. How did he catch this ball, folks? Wait till you see how he caught this ball.
Dalton Keene, his 5th touchdown of the season.
It's going to be close. A lot of blue bodies around Keene here. Tight window throw. Pulls it outside. Look at this catch. The guy's squeezing it with his bicep. He will not let that ball go down. I'm shocked they weren't able to rip it out. You see the toughness. I'll tell you what, this guy shows up on film. Nobody in the country knows about this kid. But when scouts see what this guy does, he brings a lot to the table. The junior, Mr. Do-It-All for Virginia Tech.
And how about Hendon Hooker? After starting out 1 for 5, he has hit on his last 5 throws, including that touchdown, and trying to add the PAT here for a 17-7 lead. After a lengthy delay here, the PAT is good from Brian Johnson.
Just a great job by Virginia Tech. 3rd goal. Hooker with a precision shot in the hole. And look at my man, Dalton Keene, coming up with the big catch. Hooker's happy. Dalton Keene taking a little bow here. Boom. They got the Hokies rolling right now, up 17-7.
Couple of touchdown passes, Hendon Hooker to Damon Hazelton and to Dalton Keene, and a 17-7 lead as they try and send out Bud Foster on a winning note, the longtime defensive coordinator, in his final game here today after 33 seasons and over 300 games. On the Virginia Tech sideline. $88 yards rushing, 56 yards passing for Virginia Tech. Bowden is not the deep man for this return. It's Zach Johnson. And he will not get back out to the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at our Great Clips drive recap.
Well, a nice touch pass here to the Sean McLeese. And how about Hendon Hooker? Start out 1 for 5, now he's 5 for 5 ever since. And he's really catapulted this drive. Look at this run here. This is where Kentucky needs to shore up their defense when he touches the ball. And how about Dalton Keene? Gives you the old school bicep catch, Beth. All right, I don't know how he did it, but he squeezed down on that football and got himself a big touchdown.
You know what it's like, AB, a tight end to be able to haul in that TD. And now back to Bowden and the offense, and the toss across the middle, incomplete, looking for Cavassier Smoke out of the backfield.
And I asked Eddie Grant about the passing game. Just how can you kind of get something here? Lynn Bowden's been kind of up and down his accuracy. Obviously, look, he doesn't play quarterback. He's a wide receiver. He has a receiver here, Smoke, Cavassier Smoke, coming over the middle. He's not able to get the ball to him. And he said, listen, we're trying what we can. We got some plays in there. We like to go big sometimes. If we hit them, we hit them. If we don't, we move on. We feel good about what we're doing, running the football.
And 2nd and 10, Bowden. Started right, heads left, has the first down. Look at him create a play for himself out across the 30-yard line.
Well, Bud Foster's mad because they lose contain here on the outside edge. Everything's bunched up in the middle, and they're not able to get the guy outside to make the tackle. And then Bowden makes you pay. If you let him get outside your defense, Beth, he will make you pay. And Belmar, the defensive end, Emmanuel Belmar, has to stay contained. He loses his position, and they get a big run.
5 games as the starting wide receiver to open up the year for Kentucky, and then he was forced to take over at quarterback, where he's been primarily a running quarterback. He's got another first down there. The coaches love his competitiveness, his toughness. He wants the ball. He lives for the big moments. Not going to shy away from contact, as we see at the tail end here.
I mean, he just steamrolls and trucks. Oh, right there. That's
Brian Murray.
You don't want to put that on film, but and there's some chirping.
Oh, and there's the guy that he was chirping with pregame.
He found
Khalil
him.
Ladler found him on the sideline. Finished the conversation. Bowden with the handoff. And of course, Anthony, we're seeing him at quarterback today, already declared for the draft. Talking primarily as a wide receiver and a kick returner, but obviously he can do some things in the pros as a wildcat.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's a lot. Now, I think wherever he goes, he can be an instantaneous weapon for that offense if used correctly. You know, adding this part of his game, the wildcat, a little Lamar Jackson-esque, the way he plays the position from a running standpoint, I think really has increased his value as a prospect at the next level.
Juking a defender, trying to extend the play. Gets a block on the edge, and he's into Virginia Tech territory.
And just when you think you're dead in the water, I mean, he gains about 3-4 yards there. He is a hard guy to bring down. Now, he is not a trim guy. He's a very strong guy, aggressive player, just like a guy that used to play in this stadium, Steve Smith, wide receiver. You know, he was just an aggressive, and then he talks the entire game too, very much like Steve Smith, a competitor at that.
3rd and 6 here.
This is big now. If they decide to pass, it's after the fact if he doesn't throw the ball, where he is containing the quarterback.
Pick up the blitz off the edge, and then the secondary guys get him. Ball is out. Kentucky able to hop on it. And it's 4th down.
I'll be honest with you. I know he drops back for a pass here, which is okay, Beth. But how about this? If one is not there, just go. This guy's hard to tackle. Like right here, look at that seam. Just run. You can juke 23. Now you got some other guys into the equation. They collapse down. And of course, protecting the football now, you got to be wary of guys. He gets hit from the back, the side.
That was Garbett. Garbett able to knock it loose, and the tight end Keaton Upshaw fell on it. Grimsley and Robinson back here to receive the punt. Duffy thought about a run with it, and then chips it on the run. Picked up out across the 25 by Robinson. (17-7) Virginia Tech. The last call for Bud Foster's legacy when we return. "33 years at Virginia Tech, dating back to 1987, and some of the highlights for Bud Foster. 95, they beat Ricky Williams in Texas in the Sugar Bowl. 2003, a win over Miami. D'Angelo Hall, a big scoop and score. How about this road win at the Shoe, 2014? And then in the final home game, fittingly a shutout. It was back-to-back shutouts before They hit the road. Of course, it's all about the lunch pail and the blue-collar work ethic. Play hard, play passionate, play consistently. He said, when we're recruiting you, you got to be able to run, and you got to love the game. You got to be all about football.
He became defensive coordinator in '95, which was my first year as a freshman at West Virginia, and we had many battles in the Big East over those next 5 years, and he's been an incredible coach. He's been a legend. He's been a groundbreaker in defensive schemes. He's put over 45 NFL players to the draft from this school, and 21 of them DBs. A lot of great DBs have come out. He talks about these qualities: speed, effort, football IQ, but he makes players earn it. He makes them earn their success in their strength program. And he says the reason why NFL teams love his players because they understand how to play special teams, versatile. They just get it, and they're coachable players.
Second and 11. Play action for Hooker, setting up the tight end screen. Nothing doing for James Mitchell. Rocky?
Yeah, just to add one more thing on Bud Foster. To me, the most impressive thing is how he's been able to adapt over the years. Sometimes football coaches, you know this, Anthony, can be very rigid. They don't want to adjust with the times. When he came in, a lot of two-back offense, power. Now it's a spread game, and he's still been able to find success.
And most importantly, I asked him, I told him we put this package together. I said, hey, what's up with those big glasses you were wearing? He said, back in '94, those were cool. Don't think anything different about it. I said, hey, I got you, coach, whatever you say.
I was around in '94. I don't remember that as cool.
Me neither. I don't remember it either.
They might be impressed with the way the Kentucky defense played on that possession. They will force the punt here. Chris Oates made the last 3 plays in a row. You mentioned some of the greats. I mean, Cam Chancellor, D'Angelo Hall, the Fullers, the Edmonds, Brandon Flowers, Darryl Tapp. You had a one-on-one meeting with Cornell Brown one day, didn't you?
I don't know if Cornell's watching, but if he is, I was a young player, okay, blocking the edge. We ran a reverse back to my side, and I wasn't the best blocker my redshirt freshman year, and he kind of pushed me in the backfield, blew things up. Wasn't the prime of my time, that's for sure.
We got more of the Paul Hornung Award winner, the most versatile guy in all the land, coming up. What a regular season finale it was for Kentucky and Lynn Bowden. A new school rushing record after they had just reset it the week before. And Bowden was all in against Louisville. 284 yards rushing, Anthony, and 4 touchdowns, 3 of those over 30 yards.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just that broke a record for most ever by an SEC quarterback against Louisville. He averages 8.1 yards a carry. Think about that, folks. And what that's telling me is on this series, last couple times they've had the ball, they've done some passing, this and that. They need to go full-blown Lynn Bowden here on this drive. He needs to go run on every play. On the sidelines, he had a conversation. Check those numbers out.
That, of course, is only 7 games as a quarterback that runs. Rocky?
And it was impressive talking with Mark Stoops yesterday. We asked, was he kind of tentative? He said, no, he was all in. He wanted to move the quarterback right away and have the ball in his hand.
He's got Logan Stenberg back in front of him, and that's where they run, right behind the big guy who was returned to the lineup, A.J. Rose. So Stenberg comes out of the doghouse for a penalty in the first quarter, and he leads the charge 31 yards.
Yeah, watch number 17, Divine Diablo. When he comes up to meet this, he's very casual. You cannot anticipate your guys are going to make that tackle. You've got to get into that hole and in that gap. And if you're not there, guys like Rose, Bowden, some of these other running backs for Kentucky are going to hit that and take it for big runs.
Bowden will keep. Nice cutback. Picks up a few more just to button up what Rocky was saying. Remember, Lynn Bowden, he wasn't second string, he wasn't third string, he was no string. He was a wide receiver. They had guys that got hurt in front of him. Nick Scalzo, the preseason ACL. They had a couple of quarterbacks transfer out of the program. They had, of course, Terry Wilson starting out the season. He'll be back next year, as will Sawyer Smith. And Bowden has stepped right in and done a fabulous job for Eddie Grant and Mark Stoops. Amidst 4 straight winning seasons and 4 straight bowl trips, and they are inside the red zone with Justin Rigg on the receiving end for 17.
Yeah, Rayshard Ashby literally runs right by Rigg, doesn't even feel the sense that he may release. This is a good play call. They did it earlier in the game, and they get a big gain on it.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, the linebackers got to see that because it's not an RPO block by the offensive line. They're not firing out. They're massive. They're pass set, and you got to see that.
Rodriguez in the backfield. Bowden keeps, lowers the shoulder inside the 10-yard line down to about the 7. They can still get a first down inside the 2-yard line.
Yeah, no reason why Lidbo doesn't have the ball in his hands. These next couple downs, they can still get themselves a first down here at the 2-yard line. Bud Foster trying to draw it up here right now. Getting scary with this offense for Kentucky.
11 carries, 87 yards for Bowden. They'll try Rose, patient, waiting for an opening. Dives down inside the 5. Divine Diablo got him. 3rd down. Kentucky has rushed for 130 yards, 21 carries to just 5 pass plays here in the first half. Timeout call by Justin Fuente as Bowden started to line up as wide receiver. We'll take it with him. 2:05 to play in the half. Kentucky knocking. 17-7, Virginia Tech with the lead. 2:05 to go in the half. Ball's on the 5-yard line here for Kentucky. Coming up on the Mercedes-Benz halftime report, we'll take you live from the Rose Bowl out in Pasadena and a preview of that game as well as our national championship coming up on January 13th, Clemson and LSU.
It's a monster drive here for Kentucky with just a little bit over 2 minutes left in the half, finding a way to get themselves in the end zone, 3rd and 3. What will the answer be for Bud Foster for this versatile running offense?
Bowden keeps all the way, lunges for the first down marker, and it's going to be close. Rayshard Ashby wrapped him up. Spot looks pretty good there for Kentucky.
Got a lot of bodies in the box, but Bowden is just patient.
1st and goal.
Patient on that run. Offensive linemen get on their bodies. Remember, Rocky talked about it earlier. An undersized defensive line for Virginia Tech and a much bigger offensive front for Kentucky.
Kentucky scored the 25-yard touchdown run for Bowden. He's out there in the backfield with Rodriguez offset. Rodriguez cut down behind the line. Low man won, and it was Ashby again. Second and goal. Clock will run.
Getting that first down obviously works to Kentucky's favor, being the fact that they won't allow Virginia Tech to have a lot of time if they get the ball back here. So, see this battle interior.
Bowden will trot to the left. And now we'll go in motion. They'll fake it to him. Rodriguez up the gut. Touchdown, Kentucky. All eyes on Bowden. They use him as a decoy for the score.
A lot of moving parts for Kentucky, and if you're on defense and you're tracking and watching Lynn Bowden and he's outside then comes back in, you'd be a fool not to follow and keep your eyes on him And as he gets outside on the fake, it makes it a little easier for their tailback, Rodriguez. The mini Benny Smell, his look-alike at the backfield, the guy that plays just like Benny did when he was here at Kentucky, the all-time great rusher, gets himself a touchdown.
The bus driver on that one was Landon Young up front, the junior from Lexington. 8 plays, 64 yards in just over 4 minutes. Good job by the holder there, Grant McInnes, to get that down. PAT is good. 17-14 as we get close to the half here at the Belk Bowl.
Here's Bowden. Starts in the right behind the center. He moves out. You see some fingers and pointing on the defense. Get out there, get out there. 3 guys are outside. Comes back underneath. And just because of that, it just puts you on the heels a little bit as a defense, and you can't be as aggressive. And you see there, by the time Virginia Tech's linebackers come up front, they're already in the goal line, and Bud Foster, he's trying to navigate his defense, follow him. Then he comes back inside. He's thinking to himself, how do I stop this guy? Just unbelievable drive by Kentucky. They needed it, Beth. And let's see how aggressive Virginia Tech gets here with 53 seconds left and 2 timeouts.
It'll be real interesting to hear from Bud Foster post-game. You know, over the course of his career, he's seen some awfully good ones, including Michael Vick all the time in practice. But it's a career that has spanned the era that, you know, they played Peyton Manning back in '94 and went head-to-head against Tom Osborne and Scott Frost as his quarterback at Nebraska. He's beaten Sean Alexander in Alabama, Aaron Rodgers, and the Cal Bears. They faced Andrew Luck a few years back in the Orange Bowl. Where does Lynn Bowden stack up as tough to plan for, tough to scheme against?
Said the hardest player ever he went against was Donovan McNabb. Syracuse quarterback said he just, not a lot of answers against him, just super versatility at the quarterback position. A lot of great battles in the Big East. And you didn't mention my name, Beth. But,
but you know what? It's
we had
great
some great battles.
It's great for a lot of us who grew up with Big East football.
No
It was a fun
I'm
trip
still
down,
waiting for the tape,
down
Beth,
memory lane.
of him getting blown up. But who was that, Anthony?
I forget.
That was
I don't
Cornell
remember,
Brown.
I was trying to find that.
They didn't have
guys.
tape back then.
53 seconds here for Tech to work with. Just to button up that Donovan McNabb story. It's funny, over a career of 33 seasons, what you remember. I mean, that was without any recall. He said, you know, the one guy that does stand out, the one time I asked for permission to go into another team's locker room postgame for a handshake after 4 years and 2 wins and 2 losses against Donovan McNabb. There was a lot of respect between the two of them. And he remembered that moment, and those are the ones he says he will cherish, sitting around his lake house with the grandkids.
And I know there's a ton of former players watching this bowl game, guys that he coached on defense, played in the NFL, some very talented players in the NFL that I went against before me, after me, Rocky went against, and I know they probably got a million things to say great about what he's done, and it's just a great tribute for him. And they've known about this for the whole entire year, so they've been able to kind of work their way through it, and he had nothing but thanks talking to Whit Babcock, the athletic director, before the game, and coach together, and he just couldn't thank him enough.
Of course, you know, so much love for Frank Beamer, who he was here with for such a long time. They're going to hand it over to a Virginia Tech guy, Justin Hamilton.
Offside. Defense, number 90, entered the neutral zone, caused the offense to move. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down. Virginia Tech has elected to not use the 10-second runoff. The clock will start on the snap.
There's a look at Justin. When we talked with Coach Fuente, I said, hey, this guy's been auditioning for the job the last 2 years. We think he's ready. Justin and Justin will have some decisions to make about their coaching staff.
Played some ball in the NFL a little bit, but he said he did it the hard way, paid his dues as a former player, and took some tough jobs to get where he is now.
A lot of love for D-line coach Charlie Wiles as well from Bud Foster. Let's see.
Virginia
And
Tech
Hooker
now
able to get out of bounds to stop the clock here with 17, so a chance.
Getting yourself in a situation, I think that Justin Fuente should try to get himself here a potential pass play down the middle of the field with 2 timeouts left.
Brian Johnson has already hit a 54-yard field goal today, a career high. They picked up 14 yards there.
Kentucky's going to get a timeout here, I believe.
Timeout, Mark Stoops. Big day tomorrow, New Year's Day, and that includes the granddaddy of them all, Oregon and Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl game presented by Northwestern Mutual. And then the All-State Sugar Bowl tomorrow night. A lot of chatter on the interwebs, Anthony, about the future of Baylor head coach Matt Rule. Will he return or will he get lured away by the NFL? Also, decisions for Georgia. Well, Jake Fromm and DeAndre Swift and a handful of other guys. And then you've got Justin Herbert and Jonathan Taylor in the Rose Bowl. Pretty good matchup of quarterback and running back there. Todd McShay's current rankings. A lot of talent tomorrow.
Do we have
to ring in the new year?
The total of insurance policies for those guys? That's the number I want to see. Guys, it's probably about $35–40 million right there.
Hooker trying to give his kicker a chance, and down he goes. The one thing they could not afford, Calvin Taylor, the senior out of Augusta, Georgia, makes the play.
Hard to miss him, Beth. 6'9", 310 pounds. He said he's the team's best basketball player, but just a nice job just continuing the fight. Good job in coverage. Hooker can't find anybody. His 1-2 isn't there, and number 91, Taylor, gets inside, and that'll end the half.
Virginia Tech, both teams are in the same tunnel. Their locker rooms next door to one another, so Tech's going to remain on the field here to allow Kentucky to depart first. And Coach Stoops is standing by with Rocky.
Coach, a lot of emotions and some penalties early, but what enabled you guys to settle down and play some great offensive football in that half?
Yeah, we just settling down. We've been waiting a month to play the football game, and we're excited to play, but you know, we talked about it. Everybody's excited to play, but you got to be disciplined. I think our team settled in a little bit. We got to go finish this off.
Now, their offense, especially their quarterback, has gotten hot and had some good things happen in that first half. What do you have to do in the second half to stop them?
Yeah, we got to have a little greater sense of urgency. Hit us with a little bit of tempo. Guys just standing around a little bit. Some of the perimeter run game hurt us a little, so we just got to play and execute.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky. At the half, Virginia Tech 17, Kentucky 14 here at the Belk Bowl in Charlotte.
You're watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
Welcome back to the Belk Bowl here as a part of Capital One Bowl Mania. SEC and ACC getting together in Charlotte, North Carolina. An emotional pregame and an emotional start to this one, and as good as we had anticipated, a 17-14 lead for Virginia Tech. Beth Mowens, I got Anthony Becht with us. We got Rocky Boyman down on the field, and a couple of teams coming in very emotional after the long layoff, and then they settled in.
Yeah, I think Lynn Bowden does a nice job right now for Kentucky. He's getting hot. Bud Foster has to find some answers, tackling him in the open field. And offensively for Virginia Tech, a little stall in the second quarter. Kentucky defense really start to pick it up a little bit, and not a great start for Virginia Tech as they kick it out of bounds and get a penalty.
How about today's clutch delivery? Brought to you by Chipotle.
First down from 35-yard line.
Yeah, you know, Lynn Bowden's tough tackle now. Everybody knows he's got the ball. Everybody knows what he's doing, but yet not a lot of bodies around him. Virginia Tech needs to figure this thing out and find ways to really get on and secure him. On the other side, Hendon Hooker was pretty good. He started out slow, but then he got himself in a groove, went 5 for 5 after starting 1 for 5, finished the quarter out good, but they kind of trended away from those plays towards the end of the quarter and gave Kentucky a chance to get back in this ball game.
24 rushes for Kentucky, half of those for Lynn Bowden. He's got 90 yards in the first half and hammered at the 40-yard line. Let's check in with Rocky.
Guys, I was able to catch up with Justin Fuente. I said, look, you did a pretty decent job stopping Lynn Bowden in the first half. What do you have to do in the second? He just laughed. He said, we know what to do. It's just a matter of doing it all the way through the end of this game. And then offensively, he said, we need our quarterback and our offense to be more efficient, to have more manageable third downs.
Got both backs with him now, Smoke and Rodriguez, and the whistle.
further review for a possible targeting.
Wow.
Chamari Connor, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida, the nickelback, had the hit on the quarterback.
Yeah, Lynn Bowden's giving thumbs. What I see here, it looks like helmet to helmet. Check out the replay here.
This came from the booth upstairs.
Rewind that again, guys.
Yeah, first contact does appear to be helmet to helmet here.
His helmet hits. You know, if he would have opened his arms and tried to wrap him on engagement, I'd say he wasn't trying to get his helmet into him. It's a tough deal, man.
Well, it certainly by the rule appears to be a targeting foul. But we've seen it throughout the season and throughout the bowl season when both guys are lowering their heads at the same time at the point of collision.
It's part of it. It's a factor.
Yep.
You know, it's never 100% clear. You see this here and you're thinking to yourself, well, is he, you know, is purposely trying to drive his helmet through the guy there? I mean, that, you know, helmet's hit. There's no question.
It did not look to be launching upward thrust. You know, you can talk about the severe strike head to head, but of course we're talking about a penalty or a potential ejection, and the ruling must be confirmed or overturned.
If he's a runner, he's not a defenseless player,
right,
exactly.
So
it wouldn't matter if he was helmet to helmet.
Yeah, well, yeah, and there wasn't any dangerous intent, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to see the kid get thrown out of a bowl game, to be honest.
After further review, there is no confirmed targeting. Second down.
That's good.
There you go.
So Connor will remain in the game. Second down here for Kentucky. They'll have the ball just inside their own 40. Bowden, a 25-yard touchdown run. Chris Rodriguez, a 2-yard score for Kentucky today. Virginia Tech, a couple of Hendon Hooker touchdown passes. And a school bowl record 54-yard field goal. It's the difference right now, early in this third. Cut back to his left. May have picked up a couple.
Bowden plays quarterback like a punt return. You see his vision is so wide open. He just runs the daylight and he always seems to find it.
And he pauses quite a bit to let all the blocks unfold, whether it be pullers, down blocks, and then he kind of takes off. So he's got a great feel, man. I'll tell you, there's a lot of things to like about his skill set at the next level because of the variety of things he can do. And don't forget, folks, he's a tremendous receiver, the top receiver coming back from last year's football team.
They'll run for it and get it. A.J. Rose hauled down inside the 25. A run of 34 and a fantastic change of direction.
Yeah, and you know, look, great move here to get through, but missed tackles, opportunities, one missed tackle there, bad angles by linebackers. Nobody's home, and Bud Foster's not happy about this, but I'll tell you, that's a back right there, and Rose taking advantage of those mishaps on Virginia Tech's defense and making a big play.
Longest run of the day there, 34 yards. And first down, Kentucky. A little nonchalant flip. Thomas down to the 20. Remember, they got Rose back, Smoke back, Rodriguez back. They really like Travis Tisdale, the freshman this year. Will be a redshirt next year. They saved him. And their recruiting class, number 25 in the country, features perhaps their quarterback of the future, a 4-star Bo Allen. And then Jaton McClain and Torrance Davis, two outstanding runners. 2 years from now, they'll also add the Auburn transfer, Joey Gatewood, at quarterback. He'll be able to practice with the team next year. Rose wrapped up in the backfield. Eli Adams Good push right up the middle.
A good play by Adams. And there's just a lot of moving parts. I like how Eddie Grant has had some movement pieces right now. You see Lynn Moten, he's kind of running around all different things. I mean, just tracking him has been the toughest thing right now, the way they've used it. Big third down, Virginia Tech. Can they tackle when their opportunity comes about? A lot of movement by both teams.
Back to throw, the deep ball for the end zone into double coverage, incomplete.
You said it, Beth. Double coverage. It's always tough. I get it. To me, and Eddie Grant talked about this, the offensive coordinator, we've ran it many times on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9s. We're not scared. I think you stick with it. I don't think there's really a need to pass. I haven't seen really one run. Virginia Tech made a nice stop on that first run of this drive. But again, the legs and the running ability and what they've done this season, Virginia Tech has had problems right now. They got kind of bailed out with that pass play. They want them to pass because they know they can defend it.
Only their 6th pass play of the day, so now it's Matt Ruffalo for a 40-yarder. He's been good from 50 this year, and he nails that one. Kentucky comes right out of the locker room and ties it up here at the Belk Bowl.
Stream your favorite sports, stories, and series with ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. Get all 3 for just $12.99 a month.
Welcome back to the Belk Bowl here in Charlotte, North Carolina. All even at 17 apiece, SEC versus ACC. I want to talk about some really good defensive coaches there. Mark Stoops, he faced Bud Foster a couple of times when he was at Miami and at Florida State. And defenses have been pretty good today, all things considered. It's going to be a short kick, returnable for Keyshawn King. Out to the 25. Here's a look at today's PlayStation player impact rating, and an 85 for Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, he's an important piece to this team. He's got a high rating, but I think if we go back to the first half, what was working for them most is getting the ball to Deshaun McClease, excuse me. I think he's a guy you start with. He caught the ball, and then Hooker, of course, gained momentum with that running game and started to complete some passes. So I think in order for that rating to jump up a couple spots, Beth, to get to the 90s, distribute the ball or hand the ball off to number 33, McClease, in the backfield.
Well, they'll play fake it to him. And then Hooker will take it, breaking tackles. Can't bring him down with an arm. And out, looks like he's got the first down. Gain of 10. He's a quarterback legacy, of course. His dad, Allen, a former quarterback at North Carolina A&T. Called him prime time at Dudley High School, the Black Panthers in Greensboro, where he won a couple of state championships, and watched a lot of Cam Newton playing here for the Carolina Panthers, and a lot of old school Philly Eagles Randall Cunningham tape. Other guys tried to pattern his game after. Nearly left Virginia Tech, was in the transfer portal briefly in the offseason. Then they had all kinds of injuries. He got the opportunity and he seized it. Yeah,
and I asked him about that. He said, I really don't like to talk about it. He just, after further convening with his family and coaching staff, it was best to be a Hokie, and he loves being here. And I'm sure there was some frustration. The kid wants to play. I get it. And I'm glad he stayed because it's a great opportunity for him, and he's done a great job leading this offense this season.
Trey Turner's got the first down yardage. They will have Quincy Patterson back next year. They also will be adding Oregon transfer Braxton Burmeister, former 4-star recruit. And Hendon told us yesterday they really are looking forward to building on the chemistry and the knowledge and the experience that a young team has gained this year. Winners of 6 of their last 8 coming into this bowl game. McClease tucking that ball in tight, and the burst, touchdown! Virginia Tech, 43 yards.
He's the key, Beth. He's the guy coming into this game that I thought would be a difference maker, and I'll tell you, Kentucky's defense has been outstanding all year long, a top 20 defense. But literally, I don't think anybody touches them. Look at this gaping hole. Everybody's accounted for. Bad angle by Corker, the safety. And guess what? He's going to hit his head right on that the police officer there because nobody touches him all the way to the end zone.
And Anthony, they've been going perimeter, and then boom, just straight up the gut.
Extra point is good, and the quick response from the Hokies to grab the lead right back.
You know, we talked a lot about the run game at Kentucky, but Virginia Tech is matching that right now. McLeese has been a gem in this football game, and just when Kentucky gets momentum, Virginia Tech bounces back.
Coach Foster, to me, is a role model. He's a guy that wants his players to excel. He's a guy that puts you in positions to make plays.
I want to thank you for everything you've done at Virginia Tech.
You're a great coach, and that intensity just sparks a lot of other guys that want to be at their best in the top level.
I appreciate everything you did for my career. LPD lives on.
Virginia Tech family, what's going on, man? I just want to say congratulations to Coach Foster, man. You've had a heck of a career. You were that dad when nobody had that dad on that college campus, Coach Foster. And enjoy retirement, man. Trust me, it is fun.
Great advice and the praise from his former players on that Virginia Tech defense since 1987. 24 years as the defensive coordinator since 1995.
Those are current NFL guys, Ben. He's put a lot more. Check out the list here. These are just some of the first and second rounders that have come. But trust me now, there's been a lot more that have worked their way up into the league and had great careers, but some big-time names on that list right there. I played against Engelberger. We were the same year. Ike Charlton, another guy in 2000 I played against. Darryl Tapp is a guy that I played against in the league when he was a young player. He's joining this staff next season, so they keep it in the family. It's just a long list of great players and just a heck of a recognition for a man that well deserves it.
Darryl, the only guy with a lifetime lunch pail, and then Bud Foster announcing this week that they'll give another one to Charlie Wiles, the longtime defensive line coach who's been by his side for a lot of those years. Said he's really going to miss spring practice where all the teaching goes on, where you have a little more downtime to just hang out with your coaching staff, hang out with your guys. Justin Fuente, when we talked to the head coach, just raved about his ability to make in-game adjustments. Let's see what they've got in store here for Bowden and company in the second half. And the trick play ends up with Lynn Bowden. He's trying to direct some traffic. Hit as he releases the football out of bounds, incomplete. And he got hit hard in the midsection by Rayshard Ashby, and Bowden stays down.
Yeah, and you know, he was smart to throw it away. He was trying to get his receiver, number 14, Ahmad Wagner, who's 6'5", he got a big radius, to run. Get down the field so he can throw it down there. He doesn't go down, and you see the big shot that he takes by Rayshard Ashby. Trust me, he's been waiting for a clean shot on Lynn Bowden. It's been tough to tackle, and he's as tough as they come, though, Beth. He is not going to come out of a game because he takes a shot. Kid can take a punch.
Officials got together to talk about whether or not that was intentional grounding. They decided no, so it's 3rd and 8. And now a timeout taken by Kentucky.
Oh, what's going on here on the sidelines?
Kentucky called their first timeout of the half.
That's got the Virginia Tech sideline all fired up. They've been itching all day to get a clean hit on the quarterback. They got one there. And a touchdown lead. 4-17, Virginia Tech with the leader in the third. The Bowl Challenge Cup standings are brought to you by Progressive. The SEC 3-1 so far. The ACC 4-3. They have split their two head-to-head meetings, both yesterday. Louisville and Florida were winners. Of course, they will meet again in the national championship game, LSU and Clemson. 3rd and 8 here for Kentucky. And a flag flying as a lot of Hokies were headed towards the quarterback. And that may have forced a jump.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 71, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Tough day continues for Logan Stenberg. Senior out of Madison, Alabama. He'll be headed to the Senior Bowl.
Tough play call here for Kentucky, 3rd and long. Whatever Lynn Bowden decides to do, just be smart here. Don't make a poor decision.
Bowden rolling out, he'll heave a wobbler downfield, and it's intercepted, and a flag is down around the pick. Armani Chapman may have gotten into the receiver early.
Yeah, you know, a poor throw by a quarterback that's short ends up making receivers turn back, and DBs get out of position. It'd be interesting to see. They're talking about this. And that's the one thing Lynn Bowden didn't want to do. I talked about right before the snap. I don't think they're going to call anything here, Beth, as I watch this, but it didn't look like much. It really did not look like much when we get to it. See what he says.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 27. 15-yard penalty.
Let's look at it. Top of your screen. You see the short throw. Receiver's going to come back. That is not pass interference, okay? He slips, goes down. It looks like he pulls him down. He slips. That's what makes him go down. To me, that's not pass interference. Watch here. You see a bit of a grab, but he's also slipping at the same point. The ball's way underthrown, and that's the problem. DB gets kind of messed with that short throw, Ben.
So a 3rd and long turns into a 1st down, even after the incompletion with the PI call. Bowden, what appears to be nonchalance, they like to talk about being patient and waiting for something to open in front of them. But his patience ran out there, and Virginia Tech got to him.
Well, that works if all the blockers get their guys.
Yeah.
And that's a good job by Jared Hewitt, number 5, to get through and make that play. But listen, Lynn Bowden now, he's going to wait for his hole. And you saw him. When he sees it, he hits it hard. And if they're not in position to make that play, he's going to go hit his head right on the goalpost. So this defense has to be alive for his movement.
A yard shy of 100 for the day. Looking to set up the screen, incomplete, and the passing game has had all kinds of problems today. 3 for 7 now for Bowden, 46 yards.
This is a passing opportunity, and Kentucky goes that route. Lynn Bowden, I think, needs to, if it's not there, to take off. I think he can make people miss and get this with his legs. If that's the call they decide to go with, Lynn Bowden should tuck and try to run and get this on his leg.
Looking for space, and he finds it. Good block upfield, springing Bowden. The cutback inside the 10, another broken tackle, and Lynn Bowden hits pay dirt. 61 yards to the house. Absolutely electric for Lynn Bowden. If you read the lips of Bud Foster, he's just as frustrated as his guys out there on the field. They could not contain Lynn Bowden. They wanted to keep him in a phone booth, Anthony. Instead, he makes the house call.
Well, I like the call here, and this is what's going to happen. Holyfield's going to come up, and then number 8, Belmar's going to be right in the hole to make the tackle. Holyfield runs way too far up the field. He's out of the hole, and there's no match. Emmanuel Belmar, number 8 defensive end, is no match one-on-one in space, and nobody's home on the outside. Like, you can't be in that position. Holyfield's got to understand. Watch him come off the edge. Why are you running way up the field like that? He's most dangerous running. Perfect play call by Eddie Grant. It was the delayed draw for the quarterback. And look at these guys. I mean, he's just running all over the place. And VTech's got no answers.
I'll tell you, to me, Anthony, the other thing it looks like is we talked about him being kind of nonchalant and patient. It's almost like he lulls the defense, especially the secondary, to sleep, and you kind of think he's just, kind of sliding along, and then he kicks into sixth gear, and he can really, really move.
Lynn Bowden now 16 carries, 160 yards. And we had a conversation with the coaches. When you go to an almost complete running attack, what's it like in your wide receiver room? And Coach Mark Stoops told us those guys bought in. It was so much more important to be a winner than to worry about their stats and to do the little things. And what a fabulous block on the perimeter by Ahmad Wagner, the former basketball player who transferred in from Iowa. These guys don't get a lot of looks from their quarterback, but they make the plays for him in the open field, and they are a big reason why this happens. Lynn Bowden, the most rushing yards in a single season, and he passes one of Benny Snell's years, and he's up to fourth now on that list.
If I was a receiver for Kentucky, I would be upset, because I wouldn't be getting the ball. I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. But I'll tell you, they have been unselfish. I mean, give it to them. They do play to win, and it's great to sell that team aspect has been impressive by Mark Stoops and this staff, and they've definitely had to buy into something that's very unorthodox across really SEC and the country.
There should be more chances next year, by the way, with the return of Terry Wilson, who will still be able to throw it, and now they have the ability to draw on some of the things that have worked for Lynn Bowden and let Terry do some of those things as well.
Either way, we got ourselves a great game. It's been back and forth, and Virginia Tech on the sidelines. Offense has bounced back. Let's see if they can continue to do it here.
Play action. Dump down to King. He breaks some tackles, has the first down yardage out to the 40-yard line. Gain of 9 there.
Getting his hammy stretched out there. Obviously, that long run will probably make your hamstring sore making all those moves. But I'll tell you now, he's magical with the ball in his hand, and he's done it against some of the best defenses in the country. And Virginia Tech is one of those defenses, and Bud Foster's getting driven crazy on the sidelines trying to figure him out.
Open his draft status, AB. We talked about the move to quarterback, probably not where he would play in the pros, but first round consideration maybe for a guy that you also are looking at what's going on off the field with him.
I think he's a talented player to be consideration for first round, because I think he'll be a weapon. But he's a specific weapon for a specific team. So I don't know if he won't be in that world, but when he gets to a team, they'll be impressed by his skill set. He comes out with his shirt off, no shirt when in the pregame, and he's a yoked up kid now. He can run the ball and take hits and be very strong at the running back position as well. So impressive.
Virginia Tech looking to get right back at it. They look to their tight end, James Mitchell. How about 9 straight completions dating back to the first quarter now for Hendon Hooker, and a gain there of 22.
Yeah, you see number 22, Chris Oates, in the middle, just a little late on finding the tight end. They found number 82, Mitchell, early in the first half for a big gain, and again, another nice seam ball changes it right there with a big gain.
Hendon has a couple of touchdown strikes. Looking deep down the middle, and now we'll have to improv, and does that nicely. Sidesteps out of bounds around the 30.
He is a Randall Cunningham fan, and my eyes kind of lit up when he said that. I mean, he's only a redshirt sophomore, so the fact that he even watched a Randall Cunningham film is just impressive to me. But he is a long guy, 6'4". Remember Randall Cunningham? You remember that Carl Banks kind of push-off play back in the day versus the Giants? That was kind of similar without the hop, but he does have some of that long, gangly running effect, and he's very athletic. He's done a nice job today. Now, can he punt the ball 98 yards? That's the question. I don't know if we're going to get to see that. I know Randall did that.
Randall could. Got a timeout here with 5:04 to go in the third. Hey, we got some NFL action coming your way. Postseason wild card Saturday afternoon at 4:35 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. as well as Deportes. It's the Bills and the Texans. It's Josh Allen. It's Deshaun Watson. Will it also be J.J. Watt? Can he return in time for Houston? Bills are looking for their first playoff win since the mid-90s. Here at Bank of America Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers. This is, let's see, well, we got a little tweet action from Tremaine Edmonds. Appreciate everything, Coach. #4Bud. He's a former linebacker here. Will be a part of that Bills defense on Saturday. Hokies are on the move, 2nd and 4. Almost dead even total yardage today. 282 for Tech, 289 for Big Blue Nation. McLeese gets it, and down he goes. Jordan Wright got into the backfield, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, really nice speed by Jordan right off the edge. 6'5", 242. Again, just nobody there. And if you test the speed of some of these linebackers on the backside and you delay as a back, they're going to catch you. It's a huge tackle now, sets up a 3rd and 8 situation. Can Hooker come up big again in the pass game?
Against the 3-man rush, they tried the screen, and it's dropped by McLeese, 4th down.
An unorthodox drop by McLeese there. Had a little bit of running room out front. Would have been close if he would have caught this ball. And they're keeping their offense on the field right now on this 4th down situation. Trying to catch him, got some guys running off Kentucky. I don't know if Virginia Tech really knows what they're doing here from a formation standpoint, so they're able to get substitutions in. Now they're hurrying up.
On 4th down, Hooker fires across the middle. They've got it hammered at the 22-yard line, but Tavian Robinson holds on. And they keep the drive alive, and now a flag coming in. I think they want to take a look on this hit delivered by Yusuf Corker.
First of all, heck of a job here catching this ball in traffic. And I'll tell you now, we've seen some of the hardest hits in college football today. This is the second one right there. You know what? Helmet in the chest. To me, look, I think he's going to be okay. He does put his hat down, but it goes right through his chest. Obviously, you don't want to see a guy put their head down when they're tackling, but man, that he tried to put his head right through that man's ribs.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 29, out to the goal, automatic first down.
We'll check this out. What you think, Rocky, down there?
The previous play is under further review.
The question to me is, was he defenseless? Had he had the ball long enough?
The helmet does kind of hit the bottom of his face mask.
I think the difference in this one is you could call that a launch as opposed to the one previous.
Yeah, but he's coming downhill to tackle a guy, right? So no matter what, he is going forward. You got to come through the offensive guy.
And then the other thing, they're going to have to slow it down. Is it the chest or the helmet first?
I don't think they're going to call this one a target.
Well, it looks like it may be down here on the shoulder, upper chest area. The big thing here is now this was called targeting on the field, so they would have to find video evidence to overturn that.
It's amazing, though, in this game, how many times we've had to review hard, clean hits. I mean, it's like, come on, it's football, and you know, targeting is a part of this situation now where, you know, we're
David Alvarez and his crew today. Rick Glornier is the replay official.
But AB, let me ask you this: don't you have to be a defenseless player in order for it to be targeting? What, did he not catch the ball, establish himself as a runner before that potential targeting happened?
two phases, right, Beth? Two phases of the targeting. One is against a defensive player, and then also it becomes whether you've launched yourself into the offensive player. To me, he didn't do that. He was going to tackle the guy. Okay, you see number 29 coming downhill, Corker. He's going in. He's wrapping him up around the waist. They need to determine what or if there was an indicator there. Okay. Attack with a forcible contact.
Was there a launch? Was there a thrust?
Exactly.
What was he leading with the helmet?
So the field judge just told me, he said, look, if he's leading with the helmet, it doesn't matter if he's defenseless or not.
No,
and that's going to have to be determined on the replay.
Yeah.
After further review, there is no confirmed targeting. It will be first down for
Good to see. Hey, that's why they look at it. And I'll tell you what now, that's a hell of a job by Corker on that hit, but that's an even bigger first down play. And of course, Mark Stoops is not happy. Should be happy. His players in the game still, so I'm not quite sure what he's upset about.
So that will be a catch for a first down. They won't tag on any additional yardage as a 12-yard gain.
And that was a freshman, Beth. Tavion Robinson, number 83, taking on a hit, making a big play on fourth down.
Huge conversion.
Yep.
On the slant down to the 2-yard line, incomplete to Hazelton.
Had him. A better throw. He's got inside position on this post route. No safety help. All Hooker has to do is put it on his body. See if those big orange hands get underneath the football here. And no, the ball hits the ground. Good attempt there by Hazelton, but a better throw. That may be a walk-in touchdown, Beth.
All three officials were right on that, including the side judge, Lo Van Pham. Congratulations to he and his wife, Kelly. Delivered a baby boy this morning. And he's right there on the job with the crew today. Under 4 minutes to go here in the third, and a 2nd and 10. Quarterback keeper, Hooker. Run out of bounds by Corker, and that'll set up a third down.
Jordan Wright, too, pressing through there, Beth. Another good job by him. Again, at least getting into the backfield and disrupting that run there. He's showing great speed and elusiveness to get through blockers and really be a significant factor in this run game.
Both teams averaging about 7 yards per carry. They've both been effective on the ground. Hooker on the rollout, the pass, incomplete, almost intercepted. And fourth down and no hesitation here. They will bring on the kicker, Brian Johnson.
Hits the hands of Trey Turner, number 11. I mean, look, great block. They roll it out. Dalton Keene, excellent protection, 29 right there. McLeese, he's got all he wants. Catch the football. I mean, bottom line, you got to pull that one in. That's the sophomore. He's made some big plays for this team, but unable to pull that in on a crucial point in this game.
Quandre Mosley almost had a huge interception, so here is the 40-yard attempt. 2 for 2 today for Brian Johnson. And that puts Tech back on top. 3:13 to play in the third.
Brad White there coaching up his guys, his first year defensive coordinator. He says, normal procedure, put the DC up in the box, but you know what he wants? He wants that right there.
Yep.
He wants to be able to talk to his guys right off the field and make sure the message sent to him is directly to those guys so everything's clear. He says that's why he likes to be on the football field. He says sometimes you convey things, coaches get it on the headphones, nobody gets the message completely, and there he's got two guys, his two starting linebackers, Cash Daniel and DeAndre Square, getting them on the same page. and coaching them up. I think that's pretty good stuff. And that's a heck of a stop, Beth, to force a field goal in that opportunity after a 4th down conversion to keep that drive alive.
They got a terrific group of young defensive linemen in their top 25 recruiting class next year to help out. So back to the Kentucky offense here in Lynn Bowden after that huge 61-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, he's been tough to tackle, Beth. I mean, listen, he sets it up. He's patient in the backfield, and he's done an incredible job of making people miss in the open field, man. I mean, it's game over, right? I mean, this guy's like Tecmo Bowl run. When you don't pick the right play on defense, you're going to take it to the house. And this guy's been amazing. 160 yards. Oh, just 10 yards a carry. That's not bad for a runner.
Tecmo Bowl, Randall Cunningham, you're aging our demographic, baby. Bowden, he's averaging 10 yards per carry today. Rocky, what you got?
Bowden obviously back out there, but after that long run, he was gassed on the sideline. He was actually cramping up, but was helped out by the fact that Virginia Tech's offensive drive took a little bit of time, but now he's back out there, looks fresh.
Led the SEC 8th in the country in all-purpose yards this year, over 150 per game. He's got that and then some already today. All kinds of quarterback rushing records for Kentucky this year. Single game, single season, and even career best for a Kentucky quarterback. Jared Hewitt, we've called his name now a couple of times up front.
Got to shed blockers. That's the only way, right? Your defensive line has to be a factor. You can't lean on the 9th man in the box. You got to find ways to get off blocks and at least slow them down at the line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 5, the most dangerous, really 3rd down player in the country. Whether he's passing or going, you don't know. You've got to be consistent in your keys and have a spy for him. And don't make it a defensive lineman wrap it around. Make sure you got a skilled position player trying to get him.
Bowden with the handoff and a 1st down run. A.J. Rose right into the chest of the defender, pulling his way for the yardage.
Bud Foster wants his linebackers to attack. I mean, basically, by the time they got on the running back, he's already squeezing between them. They could never get a solid hit on him. It's a nice job by A.J. Rose. You know, let's not forget about his output coming into this game, over 750 yards rushing.
One thing, Anthony, I'm seeing is sometimes the linebacker, you got to be patient. You can't just run right up in that gap because you got to allow things to develop. I think the linebackers are getting sucked up a little bit too much in the trash of that big offensive line.
Bowden? Yeah, I believe the phrase, Rocky, that Rayshard Ashby told us was don't get tangled up, and they're getting tangled.
Yeah. It's easy to do when they're that big, Beth. It's just they can reach out and grab you, and it's hard to see around them. It's tough.
These offensive linemen are huge. I mean, an all-conference player at center, Drake Jackson, 52, Logan Stenberger, All-American, and a couple other big bodies and big tight ends that make it tough.
2nd down, the spin for Rose. Ball popped out. Ball popped out. Virginia Tech on it, and they've got it.
Yeah, I don't know, Beth. We'll have to see this. A lot of his body's on the ground, and you see a ball pop out. The question is, do we see any of that come out, and what the call is? Do they call it a fumble? Looks like they are. So call it a fumble here, and let's see if any of his body parts. Here's AJ right there. He spins. See, you know, it looks like it comes out late, but is the ball kind of popping around in there, right? That's the biggest thing. You have to find something that shows that he's still controlling that football, even though you see an elbow and you see his rear hit the ground and the ball come out late. Where is the football? And after 2 shots and now a 3rd, I don't know if we'll be able to truly make that decision.
Which is huge for Virginia Tech. They would get the benefit of the doubt because they got the call on the field.
Exactly.
Turnover. So is there an angle that shows that it should not be a turnover?
And look who's in there, Beth, right there, coming around to scrape this, number 5.
Yeah, Jared Hewitt again.
Hewitt. I mean, the kid is just showing up for this football team out of Venice, Florida. Honorable mention, all ACC player. And that might be one of the biggest plays of this football game if it stands.
First turnover. Who gets on it? Jalen Griffin is the guy that recovers.
There's not going to be any information that this official's going to be able to see that's going to make him change his mind. And unfortunately, not having an angle really to the back part. Again, we'll zoom it in. We can do all we can here. The ball is out. It's just a matter of is his elbow down, and all those things happen. There's the ball there. I don't
right there. It's out. Yeah, but where's his body, right? I mean, but where's his body?
You know, if we had something coming out right here like that vision, that may be helpful. But we don't have that. So a lot of great angles there. Just none of them that's going to help Kentucky get this football back.
As it stands, Virginia Tech ball inside the Kentucky 40 with the 3-point lead. Final minute of this third quarter.
You see AJ there. He's probably thinking to himself, he probably thinks he was down in his mind, but we're not going to be able to truly see that. And you know, the view that we're looking for, there's officials there on that side that can see that all happening. So hopefully they got it right with their view. I mean, they clearly called it a fumble prior, so it's the most helpless feeling too for a player to fumble a ball. You know, we got the camera on you, and you're just kind of feeling terrible about it, and you're praying that there's a view, but I just don't see how this thing's going to get changed.
So Hewitt knocked it out. Griffin recovered it, and here we go with the result of the review.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, 39-yard line, Virginia Tech.
Well, the biggest thing now, Beth, for Virginia Tech is they got to find a way to get something out of this, because I'm telling you now, Kentucky's on the verge. They've been strong really since the second quarter on. Lynn Bowden's been playing well. Virginia Tech has to finish a deal here because the Kentucky defense has done a nice job stopping them, forcing field goals.
First and 10 for Hendon Hooker. Another nice run. First down yardage inside the 30 and a gain of 11.
I like that kid, man. I'll tell you, quietly over 100 yards, right? You wouldn't even think. I'll tell you now, some of the biggest plays for this offense has been that. And that'll take us to a huge, exciting fourth quarter. But I can't wait to see these two teams play.
He's got a 43-yard touchdown run already on the resume today, over 100 yards on the ground. SEC, ACC, head-to-head, heading to the fourth. 27-24 Hokies, the last 15 minutes of the Bud Foster era. Only room for one. Belk Bowl champion on this New Year's Eve. 27-24. Virginia Tech on top as we head to the fourth. Hooker, good combo game through the air with his feet. A lot of Lynn Bowden on the ground for Kentucky. And off of the turnover, Virginia Tech trying to cash in. McLeese, good little sidestep to get to the left and down into the red zone. And did the ball head Kentucky's way? No, the officials will say he was down. A run of 12. McLeese, a 100-yard rusher today.
Quick, got a great little sidestep there, and he's able to kind of get sideways with a step and up the field quickly. to avoid traffic, but I'll tell you now, he's got great vision. You're talking about ripping off 8, 9, 10-yard runs, and of course, clearly there he's down with that ball popping out late.
Well, Justin Fuente's got to be pleased with the way they've been able to. They're over 200 yards rush. Remember, he talked about with all those big bodies, the 300-pounders for Kentucky, we've got to find a way to create space for our run game with stutter steps and side steps and the jump cuts that we've seen from the running backs today.
Yeah, 200 yards rushing, Beth, right? 200 yards plus. I mean, that's been significant. That's been a game changer for them because they're kind of balancing off and countering the rushing attack of Kentucky.
6th game this year now. They're over 200 yards on the ground. It's the tight end Dalton Keene in motion. They stack him up on the left side so Hooker can run that way, and Boogie Watson would not have it. What you got, Rocky?
No, I was just going to say, Anthony, if they continue to have success in the run game, remember, UK all year with their big defensive line have not had to bring extra guys in the box. If they have to bring an extra guy in the box, that may open the pass game later.
And it looks like the injured Wildcat is their senior leader in the middle, Cash Daniel, getting some attention from the athletic trainer. Back in a moment.
Football Playoff National Championship game. Number 1 LSU, number 3 Clemson, January 13th at 8 on ESPN.
What do we think, fellas? LSU or Clemson in that showdown for the championship?
LSU.
Yeah, look, man, I believe Clemson's got great team, great players, but I just don't know who's stopping LSU right now. They're just too much, but should be a great matchup.
Agreed. 3rd down and 12 here for the Hokies. Pressure off the edge. Hooker gets away from it. Gets a block from his back down to the 9-yard line. That will be shy of the yard to gain. And it's 4th down and a few.
And I think Justin Fuente may be having a conversation about that. No, he's going to run his kicker in to kick this. It's the right decision.
Brian Johnson's 2 for 2, wearing the Frank Beamer 25 jersey. For excellence in special teams plays. 2 for 2 today. This is a chip shot for him, and he's got it. And it's a 6-point game, 12:47 to go. Capping off the 6-play drive. Back in a moment.
The Belk Bowl, brought to you by Belk, the home of winning with style. Visit Belk.com today. And Tax Slayer, it's your refund. Go get it.
Players from each team went on a little shopping spree courtesy of Belk at their flagship store here in Charlotte, all in accordance with NCAA regulations, of course. And pretty good haul for the fellas as we welcome you back to Charlotte. Beth Mullins, Anthony Beck, Rocky Boyman. It's been a great relationship the last 9 years here in Charlotte with the Belk Bowl, and we're in line for a terrific finish here today.
Yeah, this is great. A lot of time left. The game's in hand still for Kentucky, holding them to a field goal there. An excellent job. Looking forward to see how this thing finishes out, but a lot of time left. Should be an exciting 4th quarter. And I want to thank Belk, too. We got some nice gift cards now. It's my 2nd time doing the Belk game, Beth. I didn't get to use that gift card because my wife stole it out of my wallet.
Already gone?
Yeah, we got one about 5 minutes away, so I'm sure the same thing's going to happen.
Hey, Monday, January 13th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You can catch it on ESPN, on your app, also on ABC. It's the National Championship game presented by AT&T. Mercedes-Benz Superdome down in New Orleans. It's LSU and Clemson. Should be a fabulous atmosphere down there. Tigers and Tigers. And a 30-24 lead here for Virginia Tech. Bowden wrapped up, good ankle tackle to hold him to short yardage. Reggie Floyd, that's the lone senior they will lose from this defense next year. He wears the number 1 jersey. It's signifies the team first guy, and it's given by his teammates. And Reggie wearing that number 1.
Team leader, you said. He's very vocal, not afraid to tell guys if they're out of place, where to go, where to be. Guys respect his play because he's been such a good example. Look where they're lined up. Safety's literally 3-4 yards away from the line of scrimmage. They cannot allow Lynn Bowden to make a big play. That's why you have him so close to the line of scrimmage.
20 carries, 176 yards rushing. He'll add a few more here. And he's got the first down.
It's still just amazing when you know they're going to run. You know he's going to keep the ball, and you pack the box up, but it's still so hard to stop.
You know what it is, though, guys? It's the offensive line. The offensive line has the toughest job because D linemen, linebackers know what they're going to do. These guys have to come off the ball and get movement and block these guys. They deserve a lot more credit. They've been literally one of the best lines I've watched on film all season long this season.
Led by John Schlarman, the O-line coach, the big blue wall. What was it that Eddie Grand told us? Big men lead the way. He's been around the SEC long enough to know that.
Yeah, good job here by number 23, Rayshard Ashby. And if you're backside, not many times you get an opportunity to chase down Lynn Bowden and make a tackle. But when you're small and you're undersized a bit, the linebacker, you can dip around. He just plays a lot bigger than he does. He's been an excellent part of this defense. 100-plus tackles for him this year, second team All-ACC.
We call him Rook. He's wanted to be a linebacker since he was a little kid, and he's always been the youngest guy, but a terrific leader.
He was watching tape when he was 8 years old, Beth. I read that this week. How about that? He knew you wanted to be a linebacker right away.
Back-to-back seasons with 100 tackles. Can they come up with a third down stop here?
Divine Diablo right here needs to keep his eyes, if that ball comes his way, to get off fast and help out if it's a run to that side. Again, very rarely do they pass the football. This is definitely in a realm with O'Brien on this 3rd and 6.
Just 9 throws all day. Bowden, think and throw.
Take off.
Has the time. Launches it deep. And it's intercepted. Brian Murray with the pick and a nice return out to the 39-yard line.
Kind of mystified here. Look, Lynn Bowden, he hadn't been caught or tackled this entire game. Calling a pass play is 100% fine. I have no problem. But right here, nothing's there. You're coming back. Just take off and go to your right. There's a lot of room here. And just so you think Virginia Tech players are there that can catch him, I'll be willing to put my money on Lynn Bowden that he can't get caught and make a guy miss. Throwing the ball up for grabs like this is just, it doesn't make any sense. It goes against what they've been doing the entire season. And again, it should be the second turnover. They were lucky to get a penalty on the first one, but not a good play offensively for Kentucky.
It's so hard to teach quarterbacks how to live to fight for another day. Right now, you're trying to teach a wide receiver who's playing quarterback. But I will say, Ahmad Wagner got turned around like 2 or 3 times. I think Bowden was upset he didn't just keep running straight down the field.
And I got to think Eddie Grant has told him, listen, first read not there. If we're going to go down the field, chuck it down. Only receiver can get it. But a play like that where you're waiting for something to happen, he just doesn't have the accuracy to get those things done. And they want Lynn Bowden to pass the football. That's an advantage for Virginia Tech. And right there for me, and he looks like he's telling Wagner, come back here, this and that. All that's great, but that's backyard football, right? That's you're trying to get guys to run, get open. That's not passing game. To me, Lynn Bowden takes care of that, controls it, take off and run, and put it in your hands.
Bud Foster's defense, 2 turnovers here in the second half. A couple of takeaways. Talking with Wagner after the play.
I think he's telling me he wants him to just take off and go downfield, or he'll throw the ball up. And again, listen, when you only, 29 completions since he's been a quarterback coming into this game, just not a lot of work doing those things. So see if Kentucky can get bail their offense out here on third down.
Hooker, almost a terrific one-handed grab by Hazelton, couldn't hold it. And the Kentucky defense forces the fourth down.
Hooker's got to hit this. A wide open slant. Nobody's there. Perfect window. Looked like Hazelton kind of stopped a little bit coming out of that break and slowed himself down. Go back and see that, but he definitely didn't go completely into that route.
And Bowden's going to stay out here on special teams now and be the return man.
Kick away from him, Beth. Kick away from him.
High kick, and Bowden will have to call the fair catch. Kentucky football down a score when we come back. How about a little Bud Foster retrospective? Back in the days of the stash, the early 2000s. And then the veteran 2012 with Frank Beamer in 2016. Over 30 years and over 300 games, a lot of those resulting in Hokie wins. There's the lunch pail. This lunch pail defense, there's Rocky. Moving in for a closer look. Can the defense come up with a stop here on Lynn Bowden, the Horning Award winner, the most versatile player in America, with 8.5 minutes to go? Rocky?
Yeah, so here I am. This is the lunch pail. It's got a little weight to it, too. It has the names of some of the victims of the Virginia Tech massacre. It also has some contraband, as they say. It has some dirt from the other fields they've been on, some gloves, some things like that. And Daryl Tapp, as you mentioned, Beth, is the owner of a lifelong lunch pail. And Charlie Wiles, former defensive line coach, will be the second. Pretty cool.
PB&J in there?
Second down 3. Of course, the lunch pail referencing the mentality that Bud Foster wanted to foster, if you will. Blue collar, show up every day, go to work, put the team in front of yourself. Said, hey, we didn't do it with a lot of five-star guys back in the early days. We had to develop a lot of the talent, get them in the weight room, get their techniques better. And over the years, what a combo. He and Frank Beamer, and in recent years, Justin Fuente. He will move into an ambassador role at the university and stay around town. In his retirement, Bowden manages to stay on his feet long enough to get the first down.
Big time conversion there, and man, it didn't look like anything was there, and all of a sudden he just pops out. Now, I'll tell you now, he might bust a vein in his neck here as he's watching this game. Every time he's aggravated, every time Lynn Bowden gets himself a first down. But the guy is talented. Even when you have the right scheme called, Beth, and you think you got everybody in place, he finds a way just like that to get the first down, and that's what's made him so special throughout this season.
Approaching 200 yards rushing. He needs 7, and he will get them right there.
He's got some Le'Veon Bell to him. He just kind of waits and waits, and you're like, go, take off, and he finally does, and boom, big run.
Well, yeah, think about it. It expands his NFL abilities, right? Running back, tailback, wide receiver, wildcat. Now, won't really say quarterback because from a passing standpoint he needs to work on it, but he's got a big arm. I mean, it's not like he can't pass, because he can. You know, it's just that's not what they're built for right now. But I'm telling you, he's carried the load for this Kentucky offense this whole game.
200 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of his passes was intercepted. This Tech defense has forced a couple of second-half turnovers.
I gotta say
smoke
that,
on the run.
Sorry, Beth. I gotta say this. Eddie Grand, how he was left off the Broyles finalist list for best assistant coach, I think is a crime. And here's a guy who never had worked in a run-first offensive kind of scheme. In 5 games in the season, had to totally flip-flop what they're doing, move a wide receiver to quarterback, and to have the kind of success they have, Eddie Grand deserves a lot of credit.
First and 10, 5:20 to play. More of Bowden. Out to the 43.
And this drive here with the runs, the one thing that plays against Kentucky is the clock. You're down to 5 minutes. And even though they're moving the football, if for some circumstance they were to get stopped, that clock plays into Virginia Tech's hands. So Virginia Tech will let them get the third down every time and take their chances. But right now, dialing it in, Eddie Gran right there and this offense are moving the chains, being productive, and being down 6. This is a huge drive in this game.
27 plays this half, 22 have been on the ground. And there's another one on the ground, and it's going to bring up a third down. And some extracurricular activity after the play. Officials able to separate the combatants.
It's a monster third long here. Again, said it before, and Lynn Bowden's probably thinking about it right now. It's a pass play. If it's not there, what is the secondary option? Can I take off or do I wait? See what he decides to do here on this huge third down.
They need to get to midfield. Bowden lobs it over the top, 4th down. They had 2 extra defenders in the middle, AB, and they didn't come on the full rush. They just filled in some gaps.
Yeah, they're probably going to go for it here, but this is a nice job. You saw everybody was just kind of shelled around here. Watch this. Nobody's rushing here. They're just kind of hanging around. They say, please, let them pass it. We want that to happen, and there was no lanes for him to run on that situation. Here we go, 4th down for Kentucky. Again, the legs are the most dangerous part of this down if you're on defense.
6 guys up front for Virginia Tech trying to contain him. On the rollout, the pass, and it is caught for a first down in Virginia Tech territory. Josh Ali.
Monster conversion. I mean, Josh Ali's probably been waiting 3 weeks to catch a football. And he makes a huge grab low down to the ground. And you see the tempo now, Kentucky trying to get that next play going.
First completion of the second half. And the Cats have converted twice today on 4th down.
Go back to this play here. Again, not a great throw, but away from the defender. It's tough to see there. It looks like he pulls it in. Nobody jumping up and down for Virginia Tech saying he didn't catch it. Which leads me to believe he made an outstanding diving catch, and that's one of his guys talked about it in our meetings, that he's been a huge guy to help his success this season, Josh Ali.
Bowden, so patient to wait for the hole to open up, spun down at the 35, 1st down. Rocky?
And you got to give the wide receivers credit. It's easy to fall asleep. I mean, you haven't got a pass thrown to you in
no doubt.
a month, right? And literally this whole game, for Ali to hang in there and have the presence of mind to stay in this game and make a humongous catch, that's big time.
Now, we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. The issue now becomes how Virginia Tech plays this as they get closer, if they get closer. 2 timeouts left, leaving yourself some time.
Option left. Bowden. Oh, lost his footing and down at the 30.
Every time he has the ball, it's just, you're waiting for something. It's like you can hear the crowd. It's like holding their breath.
216 yards rushing. The bowl record is Nick Chubb, who was for a long time this year the rushing leader in the NFL. 266 is the Belk Bowl record for the former Georgia stud.
You know, it's easy for Bud Foster to get upset by his guys, but it is hard playing defense against this kid, man. It's just unbelievable. Look at this. The second efforts.
Going to be looking at a 3rd down and 2 right here for Kentucky. They are more than happy to just let the clock keep rolling. Under a minute and a half.
No doubt. I mean, they're not that close yet, so
no,
they
still got 27 yards here.
They do have 2 timeouts. Again, here comes Limbo now. They have their Wildcat.
The direct snap to the back.
He's going
And Roy looks like he's a yard short.
Here we go.
Another 4th down.
Now you get a timeout. And Lynn Bowden is not happy on the sidelines. He did not want to run that play. He wanted the football in his hands, and he let the sideline know about it.
1 minute, 1 second to play. A 4th down coming up for Kentucky when we return. Following the game on the ESPN app, it's the post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One. Ball game right here, 1:01 to go. And a 4th down for Kentucky. They trail by a 6 spot.
You know Virginia Tech is going to put everybody up. Does Kentucky have the nerve to do a pop pass to the tight end, or do they keep it to Lynn Bowden on this play?
Bowden's got it. He will keep it. And the push forward gets him inside the 25-yard line on his 32nd run of the day.
All right, well,
Virginia Tech came out of the pile with the football.
Clock's currently stopped. Trying to figure out, looks like they're moving the chains. Kentucky needs to get going now. Got to call, I would say Virginia Tech should call timeout to get things figured out if they don't think you got it, but.
The Tech sideline's going berserk right now. They wanted a closer look at that to see if it was a turnover.
Kentucky needs to speed it up now.
Quick snap, Bowden waiting. Wrapped up at the 22. They only have 1 timeout left.
Clock's running. You got to hurry up. This is where they're not kind of ready. Their offense, what the plays are when you don't have a passing quarterback. Again, clock is ticking. 2nd down.
Back to live action. Bowden trying to get to the outside. The stiff arm buys him some time and out of bounds to stop the clock with 19 seconds.
He had a lot of room there. The secondary player's back was turned because they were playing man-to-man, and it was only one guy chasing him, Rayshard Ashby. And I'll tell you now, he was on his horse on this one.
The scheme of Bud, the legs of Bowden to decide the Belk Bowl.
Remember, their biggest receiver, Beth, on the bottom of the screen is number 14, Ahmad Wagner. He's 6'5". Maybe just try it. Throw a quick one. It's preset. You just get one high, let him go up and jump for one.
Timeout, Virginia Tech. 8 minutes, 6 seconds on this drive. 18 plays for Kentucky. Looking for a touchdown and then a PAT to win it.
I think it's important to make sure that Eddie Grant and the staff talk to Lynn Bowden about this down. Make sure we go over the scenario. If you get it, if you catch it, if you get out of bounds, what you have left as far as timeouts. They do have one. You want to be on top of this. And this is something you have to continue to do because Lynn Bowden is not a quarterback, right? He got worked into this situation, and you have to be on top of it. On the other side, you really got to make sure you watch the legs of the quarterback here. I know it's risky for Bowden to potentially run, but if you're chasing offensive players and receivers with your back turned, there may not be anybody home to make a tackle on the run. So I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to figure out how the defense and the offense work against each other on this last couple of snaps.
Ball's on the 13-yard line, 1st and 10. Four-man rush. They're going to throw it into the end zone. Touchdown, Kentucky! Run it all day. Chuck it for the tying score.
Unbelievable. We knew he had to pass. I'm not quite sure how Virginia Tech allows this receiver to run by him like this. Josh Ali with an amazing catch and route. An even better throw by Lynn Bowden. Wow. What a finish.
And here we go for the lead with 15 seconds to play. Ruffalo got it, and the Cats are in front by 1.
What a finish here. Lynn Bowden coming up big. Kentucky fans are loving it. Right here, top of your screen, out and in. Again, the defensive back is there. Gets out of position for that 1 second. You know there's no safety help. And again, Chapman, number 27, just gets himself out of position. And listen, this is not an easy throw by Lynn Bowden. Nice drive.
How about the guts of Mark Stoops and Eddie Grand to come up with the pass play to win it? They've been running it the second half of the season. They've been running it and all day, and is that the way that it will finish?
Remember, Beth,
for Bud Foster,
the 2 starting cornerbacks for Virginia Tech. They're really bench players on defense. Caleb Farley is out for this game. Jermaine Waller is out for this game. They have some backups playing cornerback position, and right there it ended up being part of the reason how they scored.
The stuff of legends, an 18-play drive, 85 yards, 8 minutes and 10 seconds with 2 fourth-down conversions.
It's not over yet. We got a couple seconds here, 15 seconds. Clearly not going to kick this deep. A little wobbler. Or not.
Got to get to the end zone, and it does. 75 yards away with 15 seconds.
Tech's got 1 timeout. Definitely need, what their big passes today have been their tight end in the middle of the field.
And you've got a fabulous kicker who's already hit from 54 yards today.
You must complete something on this play, though. If you get your chance to get it down the middle of the field, number 82, their tight end, and their playmaker on the top of the screen, Hazelton, you can get the completion, you can get the clock to stop, and you can actually spike it, save your tight end, and potentially have some time.
6 DBs for Kentucky. Tech needs to get into field goal range. Hooker, incomplete.
Can't do that. You got to take a chance there. I mean, throwing the ball out of bounds doesn't help you. You don't want to force it, but in this situation, you definitely want to try to do that. And you had to have some depth, in my opinion, on that first down play. Hendon probably should have tried to force one in somewhere and just give his guy a chance. And now with 9 seconds.
And a timeout. So you've got the entire field to work with. Hooker. Same result. And now you're probably down to your final chance with 4 seconds.
What a job by Mark Stoops and hugging Lynn Bowden right there. Just what a finish. Nobody thought this team would win. They got 6 or 7 draft picks last season. Their entire defense had to be completely fixed. They're one of the top defenses in the country regardless, and that comes down to great coaching.
Hooker, they'll throw it underneath, and here come the laterals. Back to Hooker, and the ball is out. And Kentucky's got it. And they will take it the other way. Scooped up by Jordan Wright.
What a finish.
The scoop and score to end it after Brandon Eccles knocked it loose. A monster game for Lynn Bowden, 233 yards rushing, but it was the late touchdown pass to Josh Ali. 15 yards that got them the lead, and their defense puts the capper on it, and the Cats win the Belk Bowl.
Awesome finish. Everybody in the building knew was getting the ball. Lynn Bowden had an outstanding game. Easily going to be the MVP of this game. And guess what, Kentucky fans? You got everybody coming back, really, except Lynn Bowden on that play on this upcoming season. Crazy game. What a finish.
Great exchange there. Two terrific coaches, Mark Stoops, and the send-off for Bud Foster, whose career comes to a close at Virginia Tech. Justin Fuente and the new DC, Justin Hamilton, will get to work on next season. And let's send it down to Rocky.
Emotional game early. Thrown before some. Just right now.
We apologize for the difficulties we're having with the audio down on the field. As the Kentucky Wildcats celebrate their win. A thriller here at the Belk Bowl with the late score for Kentucky. And then the scoop and score on the game's final play. And there's the bath for Coach Stoops. They had to go a long way to get to him.
Seriously.
Almost as elusive as his quarterback today, but not quite.
Well done.
34 carries in the career finale for Lynn Bowden. He's off to the NFL. 233 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. And for Lynn, the touchdown pass. Just their third passing TD since September 14th.
There's that play again. Again, one-on-one coverage, no safety. DBs know it, receivers know it. Can you get past the guy? I'm shocked and amazed that the receiver, Josh Ali, was able to get back, and that man right there, Lynn Bowden, put the ball exactly where it needed to go. The one pass, the one completion where they needed it, and he's able to get it done.
And he is the Capital One Player of the Game. Outstanding performance for Lynn Bowden. What a way to start New Year's Eve and on to New Year's Day with some great college football. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl is coming up next. Navy and Kansas State. You got Utah and Texas later tonight. And then a fantastic lineup tomorrow, including the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual and the All-State Sugar Bowl tomorrow night. Great finish here at the Belk Bowl. Kentucky a winner over Virginia Tech, 37-30. Stick around, the AutoZone Liberty Bowl coming your way, but first, let's get you back to the studio. Welcome to the ESPN app post-game trophy ceremony presented by Capital One. The festivities down on the field are about to begin, but first, this message.
Promise that you'll never find another like me. I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me.
the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
(37-30), Kentucky a winner over Virginia Tech at the Belk Bowl. Rocky Boyman down on the field.
Congratulations to the Kentucky Wildcats. How about that, Big Blue Nation? I'd now like to introduce Danny Morrison, Executive Director of the Belk Bowl.
Thank you very much. Two great fan bases, a great game, two great programs, two great coaches. Congratulations to Kentucky on winning the game. And now I'd like to introduce Jacob Hawkins from Belk to present the championship trophy.
Congratulations, Coach, on being the winner of the 2019 Belk Bowl. So, Coach, what an incredible season. Part way through, you got to switch your wide receiver to quarterback, and you rattle off 8+ wins and then a Belk Bowl win. How does this feel?
It feels incredible. Could not be more happy for our fan base, our coaches, and most importantly, our players. I love them, and I appreciate them, and I'm so proud of all of them.
So what's been the key? How have you been able to navigate all the ups and downs of this season and still come out and play a very spirited game here today?
Honestly, it's very easy because of these players and because of the coaching staff. They make it easy to come to work every day. They play for each other. That's just the way we do it, and I'm so proud of them, and it makes our job easy.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. Talk to this guy.
And now we'd like to talk to this guy, the MVP, Lynn Bowden. Congratulations on the MVP. So, Lynn, from your perspective, what has this been like? You start off as a wide receiver, you move to quarterback and lead this team. How's this feel?
Hey, forgive me. My fans out there, I need y'all to jump that gate right there and come over here and celebrate with us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we just put a show on for y'all. Hey, and another thing, let me get y'all quiet real quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch my language. But check this out. For the future, let me get right. For the future of the team and everybody around the world that's watching this, stop disrespecting us. Cause we like that, you heard me?
So why do you think you guys are so disrespected and you guys keep answering back?
Because they don't understand it's a process. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put your faith in the process. And like I say, come see about it, you heard me?
And lastly, Lynn, what's your message? What do you have to say right now to Big Blue Nation?
Man, my final game in Big Blue, and it's Kentucky Blue, man. I want to thank everybody out here. I want to thank my teammates. I want to thank this whole program as a whole, man. Y'all took a kid from Youngstown, Ohio, and turned me into a man. And I'll never forget this place, man. I love all my brothers and my fans and my family sitting up there, man. Go Big Blue!
Congratulations, Lynn. Once again, congratulations to the Kentucky Wildcats. Congratulations to Big Blue Nations on a wonderful Belk Bowl. Thank you.
Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance. And it is, who else? Lynn Bowden. Big day, 34 rushes, 233 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns, and then he threw for the game winner in the final minute to lead the comeback for Kentucky in a 37-30 win. There is the game winner to Josh Ali, one of the rare